Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We good?
We good?
We good?
We good?
You guys can hear me? You guys can hear
what's going on?
I should
I
be
should
live.
be live.
Should
Factually be live right now.
We live?
We live?
All
All right.
So here's
what it was.
I'm now
streaming with OBS.
And on
On
OBS,
OBS,
you have to hit go live on OBS and on YouTube, which I did not put together. Echo.
Echo.
What do
What
you
do
mean
you mean echo?
You want
Want me to fix this?
All right.
Let me try
messing
this a little bit.
How about now? Is this better?
Better?
Tell me when the audio is good. Double audio? Echo? How about now? Is that better? Did I get rid of the echo? Did I
unecho it?
Did I fix the echo? Come on, I fixed the echo. All right.
Let's do something here.
Hello.
Testing. How about now? I think now I fixed the echo. Right? Fix the echo? No, I definitely fixed the echo. Search YouTube how to fix the echo. Alright, the echoes are louder? How's that possible? How about if I do this? How about now? You guys hear me now? Is that any better? Yeah? Yes? I fixed it? Alright. So, the reason that we had so much trouble was because normally, the way that I stream is actually, why do you guys don't care. You guys don't care about the technicalities. Just know that normally I stream a little different. The reason I'm doing it like this is so that the chat kind of stays up, because I just want to be able to re-upload this to my second channel with chat still being up, so you guys don't have to just see me talking into the void when you want to go revisit a stream. You know what I mean? Alright, so let's get this started. 100k stream. People already want feet pics. What's good, Potato Morj? You guys can't call me that anymore. I'm not Potato Morj anymore. My camera is perfectly fine. My audio is, it's got audio. Tanokiko Burr, yeah. It's better now, but there's still a bit. What do you mean still a bit? Still a bit what? Still a bit echo? There's a massive delay, BTW. How bad is the delay? Is it worth me trying to go and fix this and probably screwing it up a little more? How bad is the delay? Rate the delay on, it's kind of still potato-ish. You're potato-ish. Marco D-Tune, you're potato-ish. Let's see your camera. This is not fair. You guys can all see my camera quality. I can't come back at you guys and be like, well, what about your camera? Pokemon and Chill, thank you very much. As a fellow Indian Morj, I am disappointed in your tech support skills. Also, grats on 100k. Yeah, I am actually, among people who know me personally, I'm famously bad with computers, technology, just all of that stuff. All of the stuff you would expect me to be good at, I'm not good at. And thank you for the 100k. Congratulations. No delay for me. Roasted that poor potato. Yeah. I guarantee my web camera is at least as good as 80% of you guys. Lucid Wire, thanks a lot. You've been with me for the long haul. Wait, we have mods in here, right? Because I'm seeing one guy spamming F a bunch. The delay is longer than 10 seconds? How bad is the delay? Because some people are saying there's no delay, and some people are saying that there's a significant delay. 5 minutes delay? Wow, so I just started the stream for some of you guys. It's a 46-second delay. 20-second delay. Alright, I need someone I trust. How about a Morj mod? Huh? Some people are saying no delay. Zoro analysis. A27 Nair Vihan brings up a great point. Zoro analysis. So here's the deal. You guys aren't going to like this, but my channel was growing at an extremely slow rate for probably the past, the past like 2 months or something like that. Extremely, extremely slow. So, I was tracking the growth rate and everything like that. I was like, okay, we're getting kind of close towards 100K. Let's do a bit of a push. I'm going to do a Zoro analysis video at 100K. So I started working on that, and I put that out. 100K Zoro analysis video. The jump in subscribers I got that week was ridiculous. It was the fastest subscriber growth I've ever had. So we kind of got there probably like 3 weeks before schedule. So I do not have a Zoro analysis video ready, but it's on its way. It is definitely on its way. Zoro analysis video coming soon. It was like a 20-second delay for you. Zoro analysis video coming soon. I am definitely putting that out. I'm just not going to rush it just because we hit 100K early. So, again, feel free to unsubscribe if you feel like you were robbed of a Zoro analysis video when I told you that there would be one. But I encourage you not to, because then you might miss the Zoro analysis video when it comes out. So I promise it's in the works. Omar Gaskin, thanks a lot. Another familiar face. I like seeing familiar faces. Congrats, Morj. I noticed in any crossover anime YouTuber streams, you seem to leave early all the time. Any crossover anime YouTuber streams, you seem to leave early all the time. Oh, yeah. So, crossover anime YouTuber streams, I assume you mean like, general, like large-scale One Piece discussions, like a Reverie, or I did just recently, what does Matt call? He calls them the Captain's Cabin. I did that on Bensei's channel. I guess I leave it, like, yeah, I guess I do leave it. Like, I'm not someone who generally wants to sit down and talk One Piece for, like, 3 hours or, like, 2 hours, like, some of these things. Like, generally, like, I like coming in, talking for a bit, and then heading out. And lots of times you gotta understand, like, I'm not, how do I say this? Sometimes I'm doing it more so just because the person asked, not because I'm, like, genuinely interested in, like, doing a large group One Piece discussion, And I had fun at doing the thing with Bensei and King of Lightning recently. Like, that was fun when I did it. But at the same time, I'm not, like, jumping at the opportunity, like, oh, boy, One Piece. Like, initially, maybe I was like that. Initially, when I started doing the One Piece community stuff, I was maybe more like, I want to be in every reverie, I want to do all that stuff. But, like, past a certain point, like, you do, like, 40 Wano reports or whatever. Past a certain point, it's like, like, the appeal of, like, hopping in a stream and talking One Piece for, like, hours and hours is, like, no longer a thing for me. So, usually if somebody asks and it's someone that I know and I like, then I'll hop in and collab with their channel or whatever. But, like, if I don't stay for the entire thing, that's just because I probably don't feel like doing it for the entire thing, or I want to sleep or do whatever. Labmate, thank you very much. Congrats, Morj. Please upload this to Morj 2. I will upload this to Morj 2. You guys go subscribe to the Mr. Morj 2 channel. It has streams, and the thing that is different about this stream is that I actually have chat in the stream itself. Normally, when I upload onto Morj 2, you guys won't be able to see chat, but from here on, we're keeping chat in the streams so that you guys can actually see it. Is this like a good display system? You guys okay with this? Does it look weird? How bad's the delay now? I have so many questions. Zeno Onononeme Ononim. Zeno Ononim. Thank you very much. Who's your favorite One Piece character? I like doing non-Straw Hats, because otherwise, like, if I talk about Straw Hats, then people, like, accuse me of certain things. So let's say non-Straw Hat. My non-Straw Hat favorite One Piece character is probably... Actually, now this is very difficult. Who is my favorite non-Straw Hat One Piece character? Probably... Because the Straw Hats are really cool. They're my favorite characters. Probably, shoot. Who is my favorite? I shouldn't have answered it like this. I like a lot. I like Mihawk, I like Smoker. I actually like Kid a lot, but we haven't seen that much of... My love for Kid is slowly... It's precarious at the moment. I like Wiper a lot. I think Wiper was my favorite. If Wiper had lasted longer in the series, I would have grown to like Wiper even more. But as it is, he wasn't around that long. But there are a lot of characters I really like outside of the Straw Hats, of course. Stefan Green, thanks a lot. Oh, wait, Ninerbot, I missed you. Ninerbot, again, another OG. I love seeing all the OGs come here. Congrats, Morj. Luffy's Uranus like Shirahoshi's Poseidon. I would not personally like it if Luffy's an ancient weapon. I think that would... I don't know. I just don't like the idea that he's just born to be an ancient weapon. I prefer the idea that Luffy's doing a lot of what he's doing because he's Luffy. Stefan Green. Sorry, I just almost missed you. Morj, I need a real answer. Zoro's losing an eye has always bothered me. We have never gotten an explanation or flashback. Why do you think Oda did that? I think it's very possible Oda did it because it's a cool design choice. But if we want a real reason, then I like to think that we will be getting a Mihawk flashback. I like to think that it might have been one of Zoro's final duels with Mihawk or something along those lines, where they did maybe a serious duel or something like that before Zoro finally left, and it resulted in Zoro losing an eye. So Zoro gets to leave. That's my headcanon at the moment. Obviously, whether or not it's explained or not, we'll find out. But no matter what, the incident of Zoro losing the eye must have been from an intense training moment. So I like to think it was a parting duel or something, and Zoro gets to leave Mihawk's, dojo, essentially with, a knowledge of how far off he is from Mihawk, and kind of room to grow, basically, from there. That's what I like to think. I'm trying to position myself so I'm not, blocking myself with my own chat. How do other people do their displays so nicely? Why does mine look so shitty? I don't get it. Champion Burgess. Thank you very much. What are your expectations for post-Devil Fruit Jesus Burgess? Alright, so you're... Alright, this is kind of funny. So Champion Burgess' own name is... his name is Burgess, and his first question is about Jesus Burgess. So I see you're a Burgess fanboy from what I'm picking up. Jesus Burgess' possibility of him having a third eye. I love that theory, I think, because I kind of think that it allows for some connection. I really want there to be more three-eyed creatures aside from Pudding. I like the idea that Blackbeard might have somebody in his crew who could read, the poneglyphs and everything like that built in. And I like the idea, even if, somehow Sanji ends up fighting Burgess. Sanji already has a bit of a vested interest into the three-eyed race with Pudding. I think that there is some small plot line that could come out of that, maybe. I don't know. But I really like the idea that Burgess is hiding a third eye there. Easy News explains, do you think Kid could learn Conquerors while fighting Big Mom? Yes, I think it would have to be done a little bit... It can't be just repeated the same way that... It has to be a little different than the way Luffy's moment was. Again, I actually personally don't know if I like Kid fighting Big Mom all the way to the end. If you saw my most recent video, you know my thoughts on that. But if it happens, it happens. Oh, fuck, I'm blocking myself with chat again. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it is during the fight with Big Mom, I do think that Kid would get advanced Conquerors during the course of that. So if that's the case, then I think that it has to happen in a way that's significantly different than what happened with Luffy. Otherwise, it would feel a little repetitive. Isaiah JD, Morj, no delay. They just have to 2 times the playback speed to catch up. Love your vids, BTW. Oh, okay. Okay, everybody. So Isaiah JD just gave a great tip, which is double the playback speed if you want the audio and the visuals to be, synced up. I'm very sorry that that's the situation we have right now, but everyone, big props to Isaiah JD, send him some love for giving us this amazing tip that will fix the shittiness of the way the stream is currently running. So anyway, Dan R, thank you very much. Do you think there's some significance behind Luffy not using a weapon where Roger, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Shanks all use weapons? I don't think there's thematic significance necessarily. I think that Oda just preferred to write a fighter who uses his fists. I think the reality is that you can get a lot more. Oda likes the visual or the feeling or the moment of just building up a really, really nasty, cruel, asshole-ish bad guy that we all hate. And it's just a lot more cathartic to see that guy beat down with fists, like Crocodile, with Lucci. The power of a jet gatling, that's not something you can really do with weapons. You know what I mean? So, for example, all of Zoro's fights, they end with a single, smooth, killing blow, which makes for a very clean-looking double-page spread. But Luffy's fights are always just a little more dramatic, a little more... The way they end is a little more emotionally powerful and cathartic just because he's able to do it through, a physical beatdown. You know what I mean? So, I don't think that there's, a significant thematic reason other than just makes for Oda's style of writing, big wins better. Potential pizza, I agree with you. One living person, ancient weapon is definitely enough. I personally prefer that. I think it'd just be a little weird if they were all the ancient weapons were like that. Well, let me make sure I didn't miss any crazy stuff. Behanor, thanks a lot. If the raid fails, will you name your review I Am God? No, but I'll probably be thinking it. I won't. I'll probably just name it like something like theory confirmed. That actually always works. If you get a theory right, you name your chapter review theory confirmed, you'll get kind of basically just says what it says. Ninerbot, thanks a lot. Least favorite character in arc. Least favorite character in arc. Least favorite arc. Probably what am I least interested in going back, revisiting, and rereading ever is Fishman Island. But, I came to appreciate Fishman Island more over time. It's just never going to be, like, one of my favorite arcs. You can appreciate something and still think it's, like, not as good as a lot of other things. Least favorite character is very, very difficult because, I could say something like Treble, but Treble was not really a significant player at the end of the day. So if I say Treble, what does that mean? I guess a character that is significant, seriously pushed into, probably characters that are very prominent in the series that I just don't like. In which case, I don't think I'd have to think a bit on that. I definitely have a least favorite character. Everybody factually has a least favorite character. You can't love them all equally. So everybody factually has a least favorite character, but I'd have to think a little bit on what mine would be. Jesse Panther, what do you think CP0's role in Wano will be? Actually, you know what? Maybe now I'm thinking maybe Rebecca. I think Rebecca. Rebecca might have been my least favorite character. Just because of the amount of screen time she took up and a remarkably uncompelling story. Jesse Pander, what do you think CP0's role in Wano? Let me clarify. I think the entire Riku family tragedy that happened, which is basically a storyline that we got through those three characters, Riku, Rebecca, and Kiros. Rebecca just never really became an endearing character to me. So I found her side of the backstory the least interesting. What do I think CP0's role in Wano will be? I prefer to think that CP0 will be calling in the Marines and saying, hey guys, we got a situation in here that's looking pretty juicy. I think that we could take advantage of it, so how about we send some Marines over? I like to think that that's what would happen with CP0 and Wano. And I also hope we get to see them fight a little bit as well. Source ADM, thanks. Do you think Kid could move Big Mom's metallic sword, since Law could move Zeus? And what about moving the huge Onigashima sword? I think it would be really cool if Kid moved the huge Onigashima sword. Really, really, really cool if Kid could move that. As for if Kid can move Big Mom's metallic sword, yeah, I think so. As for the whole question of can he get it out of Big Mom's grip or whatever, I think that remains to be seen. I think there's definitely an argument. I think he should be able to. I like to believe that he should be able to. Anobob Base, do you think Zoro's getting Sandai Katetsu after Wano? Sandai Katetsu. Isn't that not... Call me crazy, that's what he has right now, right? He has Sandai Katetsu. Isn't it Nidai Katetsu that he's trying to get? I think he will. I definitely think he will. I don't think that that's planted there for nothing. I think it's extremely likely he will. Omar Gaskin, thanks a lot. How do you feel about Usopp eventually becoming one of the stronger Straw Hats for a sort of parallel to Yasop? I think that that's actually just not in Usopp's storyline. I think he is perpetually going to be one of the weaker Straw Hats. Perpetually going to be one of the weaker Straw Hats. Maybe the weakest Straw Hat. I think that when it comes down to him and Yasop, I think it actually will be a point that Yasop is stronger than Usopp, and that's something that can be a plot point that's focused on, that Yasop is one of the top three, whereas Usopp is always kind of straggling towards the end of the Straw Hats, always finding a way to make himself useful. But I do think that if Usopp and Yasop, I like to believe that in the Davy backfight, they may come up against each other. I like the idea that Usopp would be the underdog and have to, maybe he can't beat Yasop with straight up sniper ability, but Usopp has so many tricks, so many strategies. I like the fact that that's how he's always able to fight. And so scaling Usopp is always difficult, because how strong he is, it's very variable. He can lose to some very low people, but at his best, when he's able to use the full resourcefulness and trickery that he can really, really pull off some things that he really shouldn't be able to. So I like that. Luffy versus Usopp is a great example of that. right? Luffy versus Usopp. Usopp doesn't have to be as strong as his opponent to give them a hard time or make it a competition. So I would really like the idea that Usopp remains where he is. I think that that's a good place for his character. And I like the idea that if he does come up against Usopp doesn't have to be the best sniper in the world. I like the idea that he would have to rely on a lot of other things to actually, even if he's the underdog in that situation, still be able to prove himself. Crockett DC, thanks a lot. You think Mama Caramel was weakened and fused her soul with Big Mom, granting power and personality, and the water she fell in negated it, reverting back to age 6? Ooh, that's actually pretty interesting. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't think that... by power, I assume you mean the Devil Fruit ability, right? So... that would actually be very, very interesting. I don't know how I'd feel what that would mean for Big Mom's character as a whole. She's just been an amalgamation of two characters this entire time. And Mother Caramel, I suppose, is the one that we've always had to kill. But I prefer Big Mom the way she is, with just a overpowered child who went down the wrong path because of what essentially, like, some crazy event that happened in her childhood. And like the lack of a parental figure or anyone who could hone her in, and rather her worst tendencies being encouraged. But all that being said, I think it would at least be interesting or a cool twist or development if Mother Caramel turned out to be one of Big Mom's personalities. I keep trying to not block the... I gotta find a good position. So if I'm like this... Yeah, if I'm like this... Or I could just move the chat, right? I could just move the chat around? I don't know what's better. Let's try this for the moment. Oh, that's my dog. What other manga do you read? Says Abraxas. Thanks a lot. Thoughts on Berserk? Other manga I read. So you're saying currently or just in general? So currently, like, I've got a lot of series that are on hold, kind of like Attack on Titan. I was planning to catch up on, but you hear some things about the ending not being 100% satisfying to a lot of people. So it makes me less motivated to catch up to Attack on Titan. Even though I was probably about the 75% mark when I dropped it off. Hunter x Hunter, Hunter x Hunter, I'm waiting till the current arc concludes before I binge the rest of it, but it seems like it's on a long hiatus. My Hero, similar situation to Attack on Titan, where I'm hearing mixed things about the stuff that's going on right now, not super motivated to catch up. Jojo Land, I'm waiting a little bit for, it to get closer to the end, I suppose, before I finish reading that, or I catch up to that. Chainsaw Man, I'm waiting right now. Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm waiting for the current arc to conclude so I can kind of just binge the rest of it. I found I enjoyed the Shibuya incident a lot more when I was able to just binge the entire thing. Once I caught up to Weekly Experience, I felt less motivated, so I kind of dropped it for a little bit. Probably the last 3 months I haven't really been up to date with Jujutsu Kaisen. Black Clover is probably the only thing that I'm reading week to week right now, because besides One Piece, because it's in its main battle phase, so you get to see the main battles as they're happening. That's basically, I could go on, but there's a lot of series that I have on hold, or I'm just waiting for them to come back from hiatus. Thoughts on Berserk? Berserk is an amazingly well written series. I don't think it's in a particularly good place at this point right now, so I'm not particularly motivated to read it. And the chapters come out infrequently, but as a whole, the series is amazing, obviously. I just think it's at one of its weaker sections at the moment. H2OX, where'd it go? Oh, there's a lot. Shrikaran Srinath, do you ever plan on revealing your identity? LMAO. No, I would rather never do that. Omar Gaskin, thanks a lot. Going off my last question, then what's your definition of a great warrior of the sea? I'm gonna save that for the Usopp video that'll be coming. Not an Usopp analysis video, but I think I will have a big video on Usopp coming out. I want to say, I don't know when exactly, but probably in the next month or so I'm gonna drop an Usopp video talking about his future. Cliffbot, thanks a lot. Do you think Luffy and his crew are doing too much too fast? They've been in the New World for about a month or two and have done a lot. Well, as you all know, I don't know if they're going to succeed here. But let's say that they do, and let's see how it all plays out, basically. If this is the final battle, yes, I think that Luffy has been getting kind of his development against Kaido. It's been a little fast. I think most of us would have been shocked if Luffy could have actually 1v1 Kaido right away over the course of like the Udon 2 weeks and everything like that. So let's just wait and see. I think nobody had Zoro as strong as Zoro seems to be right now. I think even Zoro fans didn't think going into this arc that Zoro would be doing half the things that he's doing. So, yeah, it's just going to be... Yeah, it's just going to be... We kind of got to let the dust settle before we feel like, okay, have the Strats gone up too fast? Have the Strats, you know, how does the growth rate feel in the context of the broader story? Because... yeah, timeline-wise, it's been a month, but also it's been a lot of chapters, a lot of arcs they've gone through. Well, I guess the crew's been fairly scattered and actually not that challenged over the course of the New World. The only time they were actually challenged was the small group that entered Whole Cake Island. So, yeah, I guess it really depends on how we all feel at the end of Wano. Yeah, Juan Perret. Jojo Leon is right near the end, but since it's monthly, it makes sense. Also, the other thing is Manga Dex is down right now. If I was going to read it anywhere, it would be on Mangadex, but Mangadex is down right now, so I don't really have anywhere to read it because I want to read the digitally colored versions, and I don't think that there's a convenient place to try that anywhere else. Albin Markisic says Shibuya is finished. Well, exactly. So Shibuya finished, and then the next arc, basically, like the events of the next arc sort of started, and I was like, I'm just going to give it a little bit and read it all in one go. So I read all the way, I got to binge all the way through to the end of Shibuya, except the last couple chapters of the final fight. You guys know what I'm talking about. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, someone's saying don't bother with AOT. Ulysses of the Divide also say... yeah, I know AOT has... Don Krieg says, didn't you start... Don Krieg, as a D-A-W-N, says, didn't you start Kingdom? I did start Kingdom, and I got through, I suppose, the first 50 chapters, which was essentially... it's not a prologue, but there is a bit of a... I don't think there's a huge spoiler. There's like a bit of a time skip after the first arc ends. It's not like a huge time skip, but like the first arc ends at a good point, and then you wait a little bit, and then there's a new arc and everything. So I really liked Kingdom for the chapters I read. I had to take a break just because of busyness or whatever, and I haven't felt compelled to go back and pick it up. Maybe I'll feel in the mood again at some point, but I'm not going to force myself to read Kingdom just for the sake of it. Easy News explains, thanks a lot. What do you think the first spinoff will be? And do you want a pre- or post-OP spinoff? Something like Boruto would ruin this. Post-OP would be terrible. Post-OP would be terrible. I think a lot of things about Boruto that I've heard or kind of seen is that I don't like the idea that it sort of not invalidates, but it sounds like it's making a lot of Naruto and, Sasuke's storylines seem a little smaller because it's coming up with bigger and badder threats and stuff like that, and like it's scaling things up from their stories, which makes their stories seem less significant in comparison. I would hate for that to happen in One Piece because the One Piece story, it's hard to do a good spin-off following it because it's built on so much lore that's all leading up to a single point, right? That 800 years, the Void Century, Will of D, Ancient Web, like there's so much that's building up to a single conclusion that it's very, very hard to do a spin-off with any sort of weight behind it because it should just be, like everything else should resolve properly. And that's what makes One Piece such an amazingly planned out, long-running story. So if it's a spin-off, it would have to be really minor stuff. I'm not really interested in seeing spin-off stuff after One Piece happens. Maybe stuff to go into Roger's adventures. Not too interested in Ace Adventures, personally. Maybe, like, some other pirate crew, maybe Kid or something, I don't know. But it would have to feel, like, significant, but still not so significant it, like, takes away from the main story that we actually got to read. Maybe Dragon's story a little bit more, but I imagine we'll get a backstory in that anyway. Pokemon and Chill, thank you very much. Morj, I'm kind of curious about something. You've been doing it for quite some time, but why haven't you made an interesting set/background for your videos? Why have I not made an interesting set? So, let me announce this because a lot of people don't know this. I don't film the videos at my place. This is my apartment. All right, this background is my room in my apartment. I have roommates and stuff like that, obviously, but it's not that interesting. So I have a friend who, stop being friend, he's the editor, thumbnail guy, cameraman, etc. for the channel. I just go and film at his house because he's got a nice background. He doesn't own a bunch of One Piece merch, so we don't have a lot of One Piece merch in the background. I've never been a One Piece heavy merch guy. I don't buy figurines or anything like that. Like, I think I have one that was gifted to me, and I had that at the start of my very, very first videos back when I was still at my parents' house. Like 4 years back, if you see those videos, I have like a little figurine of Luffy in those. But it's, I'm just, even if I wanted to really decorate and stuff like that, I would just feel weird buying merchandise and posters for the sake of just setting up a background that's like One Piece related. I like the background that we've got. I think it's good looking. Siddiq, thanks a lot. James Halder, thank you very much. You a soccer fan at all? If so, favorite team? James Halder, I'm not a soccer fan. I apologize. My favorite team is Barcelona a team? That's my favorite team. I don't know if... Sorry if I got soccer wrong. That's my favorite team, I decided, in this moment. Mitchell Rodriguez, thanks a lot. Joy, you got a lot of slashes in your comment. Let's try and piece this together. Joyboy / Ryuma / Im. Roger, oh, you're saying parallels like this. Okay. Well, it just depends, because like I would have to really buy into the parallels that you're bringing up here, which I don't necessarily like. Joyboy, Ryuma, and Im. Like I don't know if Ryuma fits in that class. I think that's a big assumption. Roger, Odin, Rocks. Like it seems like you're going with like good guy, bad guy, and a swordsman in the middle. I don't think that really works. If I had to go with what you're talking about, I would actually bump Blackbeard to Luffy's generation. So that's just me personally. Because it's more so when Blackbeard came up, in my opinion, and Blackbeard came up as part of Luffy's generation. Well, no, because he's not really referred to as the worst generation, is he? No, he is. He is. Like, for example, you have quotes like Chinjao and stuff like that referring to Blackbeard as one of them from Luffy's generation. It's similar to how Capone Beige is technically older, but it's not about age, it's when you came up. You know what I mean? That makes sense? Priya Singh, thank you very much. Do you think all ancient weapons are in the New World? Maybe close to Laugh-Tale. No, I think there was an implication that Pluton is actually possibly in Alabasta, which I think is really cool. Cliffbot, thank you very much. Do you think Luffy and his crew are doing too... Oh, no, we've been through that, my bad. DK, thanks a lot. DK. I like that name, Donkey Kong. Congrats, Morj. Thank you very much. A question, what do you think about Sanji having Conqueror's Haki, and what do you think Rayleigh's ambition was? Strongest swordsman? Both of them have weaknesses for women. I don't think Sanji has Conqueror's Haki. I definitely do not think it really fits his... He's just never been written... Like, there are certain moments that Oda kind of puts Luffy and Zoro on a sort of... In terms of their character, they're supposed to embody this sort of larger-than-life, really, like, I guess, manly, commanding ideals. And Sanji has never been written like that. He's always been written as a more, low-key, surprise, hidden ace type character. He's just not written in that way. And I could go way more in depth if you think that that's like a shallow explanation of what Conqueror's Haki is, but it's more of like a very basic surface level definition. I have videos and stuff talking about traits that are common in Conqueror's Haki that you can kind of check out. I don't think Sanji fits. It's just not in his character, in my opinion. And Rayleigh's ambition, strongest swordsman, I don't know if Rayleigh had a very strong ambition. From when we first met him in that Gold Roger, that little clip of him in Gold Roger meeting, it seemed like Rayleigh was just chilling on his boat. It's probably one of those guys that always had potential to be someone great, but it took someone like Roger to really take it away with him, The Baby Lane, thanks a lot. Love to see a Garp spin-off story. I would too. Garp spin-off story would be nice. Potential Pizza says, damn, Morj has a nice TV. So, that TV is new. It was just mounted on the wall. I did not have it for the longest time. If you see streams from earlier this year, it was kind of just a blank wall. The reason I got this TV... Actually, the reason I got the TV... I'm going to save that for a bit. It'll make sense probably in a month or so why I need a TV now. That's like just in my room. So the TV, though, it costed me a lot of money to get it mounted because I didn't want to learn how to do it myself. Ninerbot, thanks a lot. Nobody likes the scabbards, even Odin ditched them. That is funny. I think people... I've said this before. I like a lot of the scabbards as individual characters. It's just like... collectively as a group, when I see them all just crying about Odin for the 50th time, like you mention Odin around them, and it's just like, you got to start handing out tissues, you got to do, all I'll say is I would really have liked if during Odin's flashback, it was an Odin scabbard flashback, not just an Odin flashback, because the scabbards were essentially cameo characters in that flashback, when I do feel like it was very important to the story dramatically to show us more of the bond between Odin and the scabbards as it developed. I think Kinemon was the only character that Oda put in a slight bit of time into doing that, really. And even that felt a little slight. Kachi Damien, thanks a lot. AI says, yeah, I'm head out as a Madrid fan. I'm sorry, I'm a Barcelona fan at this point. I decided it in the last 30 minutes. Moo. Oh, shoot. Stuff is scrolling so fast. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. What did Moo say? We're not going to leave Moo behind. Moo, thanks a lot. Congrats on 100K. Thank you. It kind of seems you took a while to get there, unlike some others. Thanks, Moo. Appreciate hearing that. Even though, in my opinion, you're the best YouTuber. Ah, thank you, Moo. All right. Made me feel better. So anybody who's followed my channel somewhat, who's followed my channel for a while? Show of hands. I assume a good number of you. Anyone who's followed my channel for a while, you know that I was not a consistent content creator for the most part of the last 4 years. Like, I just didn't. I would have spurts where I do some One Piece videos, and then spurts where I went like 6 months without doing a video. Anyone who's followed me for a little bit knows that. This whole thing that I'm doing right now in the last few months, 5-6 months or whatever, maybe since partway through 2020, latter half of 2020, of actually regularly putting out content, that is very, very recent, very, very new. And even here, I didn't put out much content towards the beginning of the year. I've just gone through spurts of not putting out content. You have to put out content regularly to continue growing at a certain rate. So, for example, end of 2018 was when I started getting my really big boost in terms of subscribers and viewership. That was after the fight analysis video, after the Elbaf and Shanks video. So around then, I rocketed past 10K, 15K subs fairly quickly. After that, though, just because of life, I had to stop and slow down with the content. So I kind of missed a big jump in terms of how fast my growth could have been. And then since then, like, on and off in the years, I've suddenly gone like a month or two where I just do videos regularly. And then I take a month or like 4 months or 5 months of not doing anything, maybe a chapter review here or there. The good news is that recently, I've been investing in the channel. We've got an image finder now. The goal is to basically do content regularly for like the time being. So last, March, April, May, these are going to be content-filled months. Probably just going to keep going. So I do think my growth will be faster from here on out, just because of greater dedication. But yeah, you got to be consistent. If you're a YouTuber trying to figure out how to start doing YouTube, consistency is very, very important. You got to keep doing that, or else you will drop off or slow down. Stuff like that will happen. Then you got to wait for like a new burst of viewership. Siddiq, thanks a lot. Thoughts, theory, thoughts, sorry. Theory about the origin and name of DFs coming from them being the devil as fruits. Fruits of the devils, aka the D-Clan, who are labeled devils by world government. What? I didn't understand the question. I don't think I understood the question. Devils that are... I'm sorry, I did not understand the question. That's my answer. Kachi Damien, thanks a lot. If go back to Coliseum Punch, if you remember the king that had to build up his punch... Oh! No, I think that's just like a meme ability, the King Punch. The King Punch does seem pretty strong. Juan Perez says he's definitely reading chat from like 10 minutes ago. Maybe there's a way... Okay, you know what? What if I do it like this? Let me do it like this. So, how can I read chat like faster to keep up with you guys? And I just missed a question. How do I go back? Things are very disorganized here. How many viewers do we have? Let me check how many viewers we have. Concurrent viewers 1,184. That's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. But let me fix this. Is there a way? Jimmy. Sorry, I'm trying to answer questions as I see them. Jimmy, AOT's ending was apparently rushed, and in May or June there will be a volume release where the ending will have additional pages, so I'd recommend waiting for that. I will wait for that. I was reading... Who's me? Why are people saying me? Oh, shoot. I'm reading chat from like way long ago. I'm reading chat from like way long ago. Ninerbot, thanks again. Favorite and least favorite devil fruit. Favorite devil fruit, the phoenix fruit. Least favorite devil fruit. Don't really have. Maybe the ton fruit, just because it feels like a repeat. James Halder, what kind of music are you into? If non-One Piece questions are annoying. No, they're not. The non-One Piece questions aren't annoying at all. Music I'm into, I don't even know the genre. It's like whatever the stuff Spotify's been giving me these days. Is it like, I guess like alternative indie? Wow, that's really unique, right? Now everyone's into alternative indie. Does that even make it like different at this point? No. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Like it's whatever the random stuff Spotify gives me. There's very few artists where I like actually many of their songs. Like I like a full album or something like that. So it's hard for me to say like, oh, I really like this artist. Strife, thank you. Putting out letting the people know to stop spamming certain things. Easy News explains, you watching any anime this season? Nope. Plus, get into Wano anime, please. Plus, are you finally doing YouTube full-time? A lot of pluses. I am never going to watch the Wano anime because I think that people are... Okay, I don't want to... I'm going to save my thoughts on the Wano anime, but I think that people are being... Like, it is disappointing to me that I see people be so overwhelmingly positive to... It's like, it's the saddest thing. They're giving us the bare minimum that One Piece deserves for certain moments. For certain moments, they give us the bare minimum of what One Piece deserves, and people just eat it up. They're gushing over how good the Wano anime is. It's not. It really, really isn't. You watch an average episode, it's trash. Like, it's like an abusive relationship where, like, they're, like, actually, okay, not actually in a serious sense, because that's a serious topic, but it's similar to an abusive relationship in a much more casual sense, in that, like, the anime treats you like trash, and Toei treats its viewers like trash, and then once in a while they do something nice to make you feel good for like a little bit, and you're like, oh my god, the anime is the best thing in the world, and it's like, you guys watch literally any other show and you'll see what like a real thing is supposed to look like. Plus, are you finally doing YouTube full time? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, it's as in, like, I will be regularly putting out videos. I'm not like, this is not like the only thing I'm doing, but it's basically definitely like a high priority. And like, I'm not going to stop doing YouTube. Like, it is part of like at least part of my livelihood in a very major way at this point. Easy News explains, thank you very much. Wait, no, we just did this. Kritan Shankar, thank you very much. Do you think Sanji will have a role on the rooftop? I like to think he will. How do I slow mode the chat? RKE, congrats on 100k. Do you think that Luffy will fight Akainu and Blackbeard one-on-one, or is it possible that he may fight both at the same time? I don't think both at the same time. Who's fighting Blackbeard and Akainu both at the same time? Like, someone who just isn't a fan of... like, someone who just wants to die? Someone who's no longer interested in being alive for the end game of the series? Luffy's not fighting Akainu and Blackbeard at the same time. I think he will fight both of them one-on-one, and those will be some of the final matchups for him in the series. Oh, yeah, so people are talking about the anime. Yes. Like, you guys have to understand, it's just not healthy, like, the way that people, like, talk up the anime. Like, it's just not, like, it's not healthy, it's just, like, stop pretending it's good. Just, like, I'm so tired of seeing people go on Twitter when there's, like, one good episode and being like, wow, the Wano anime is good. It's, like, I could put up literally, like, 90% of the episodes and you guys would be pretending, like, that those don't count or something. Juan Perret, I don't watch it because it's bad. I've tried watching it a little bit because, for example, like, my roommate has watched some of the Wano anime episodes because he does enjoy, like, watching the Wano anime to a degree, but even he's aware that, like, not all the episodes are good, and he's mostly just going back to watch, like, parts that are good. So I've seen my fair share of, like, full episodes where there'll be, like, one good scene and everything else is trash. And those are the episodes with highlight parts. Potential Pizza says, like, I don't like how the anime's well-animated moments mean too many colorful hockey special effects. How do you feel about those, Morj? I mean, the classic example, I'm not bringing anything new up here, but, like, the Batman incident, like, yeah, it was, I guess, technically good animation, but it's just, like, it's conceptual, like, Yeah, sure. It's technically good animation, I guess, but like, are you really like? That's how you wanted the Batman scene to play out? Like, you think that that's a better interpretation than like the straightforward way it was in the manga? Like the way Luffy and Kaido's clash ended in like Act 1, like with Luffy having the weird hockey effects around him. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like just doing more for the sake of doing more isn't necessarily good animation. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the flash they do is clearly to kind of like overcompensate. Slam, thank you very much. Do you ever plan on doing what? How do I stop this? It's gotta slow down. Sam, thank you very much. Do you ever plan on doing OP manga chapters, live reactions? Nope, I've talked about this because, look, I just don't. When I read One Piece, I want to read it the way I enjoy reading One Piece, which is in my bed, in my pajamas, in the morning. I wake up, I pull up my laptop, I've got a nice One Piece chapter to read. I don't want to have to sit down, set up OBS, and like play to an audience when I'm doing my reactions. I don't want to have to. Yeah, no offense, but I don't want to, Sorry, I've got something in my mind. I don't want to think about. Look, I just want to enjoy the chapter for what it is. Like, I don't want to think about it as like creating content when I'm doing something like that. So, probably never do a live reaction. It'll probably just never happen. Siddiq, thanks a lot. I think I'm at the origins of. Oh, I'm sorry that you had to super chat twice. I'm really sorry about that. I'm at the origin of devil fruits coming from the D clan due to them being called devils by the Tenryu's and world government. Hence the name. Oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't understand the question for whatever reason. My brain was like, there's a lot going on right now. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, if the devil fruits came from the D clan, that'd actually be really good. That would be part of the reason for why things are categorized, like why they're called devil. Like, it just makes sense what you're saying. I think that would be really cool. JD Legend, thanks a lot. Why are you not a mod? Can I mod you? Yeah, add moderator. I'm sorry, JD. Congrats on 100K, bro. Can't wait to see the YouTube plaque unboxing. How does it feel to hit this big milestone? JD, so you just hit 10K, right? You hit 10K, like, actually a lot of us hit milestones, I think, in the last week. I think Braga hit 200K, we saw. You hit 10K. I had 100K. 100K is obviously the most special out of all of these milestones. So I'll speak from my experience of hitting 100K. So it was weird because, I mean, someone brought it up earlier in chat, but it did feel like it felt like a bit of a long time coming for me, just because, not in the sense that like, oh, I'm such a great YouTuber, I should just had 100K. It's more so that like in terms of the analytical growth that was going on. So I sort of missed my chance multiple times throughout the last several years to kind of ride a certain wave of growth because I was just not able to do things consistently. So I would go 5, 6, 7 months without uploading videos outside of a chapter review here or there, when if I had ridden the hype of certain videos or ridden certain waves where like, okay, the channel's growing fast, I should keep doing this, I know I would have hit 100K a lot faster. And that's not like arrogance, that's just, I have my analytics. I know that like, oh, I didn't do stuff from this point to this point. If only I'd done that, then I would have hit it faster. So the 100K, like, it feels like a good milestone, but it felt more like, I'll put it like this. When I hit 10K, that was off of a sudden burst. It was all happening very fast. I was very excited and happy. That felt really, really good because it was just like suddenly a lot of hard work, suddenly all paying off at once. It felt really, really good. 100K felt like something that I'd been waiting on. I was like, I should have hit 100K probably last year. I know I could have if I just put in the work I'm putting right now last year. So 100K felt more like finally get that off my back. Got 100K taken care of. You know what I mean? So I think you'll have a different mentality depending on how you hit that certain milestone. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like this was something that if you put in the work, you could have hit it earlier, versus if you kind of are on a bit of a grind and then you finally see your hard work pay off in like a good rate, then I think you'll just see it differently. I hope that helps. Sorry, scrolling down. I know I'm doing this wrong. How do I okay, for next stream, I'm going to talk to some people who stream regularly and like figure out a good way to basically like show off chat at the same time while I still get to read chat. Does that make sense? Like, because right now you guys are slaves to how I'm reading chat. Mannerbot, thanks a lot. The soundtrack and voice acting carry the anime. Don't get me wrong. I started with the anime. I have a lot of love for the anime deep in my heart because the voices in the anime are still the voices of One Piece to me. The soundtrack of the anime is still the soundtrack of One Piece to me. Like, Luffy's voice is still what I think of as Luffy's voice. I think that soundtrack and voice acting are great. But you guys know the anime is not good, right? Like, you guys all know that. Omar Gaskin, thanks a lot. I agree, majority of the anime isn't great, but 957 was a perfect episode. I don't care. Like, it's just... I don't care. I don't care if there was, like, one random good episode. Like, what does that mean to me? It's not like I can go back and actually, like, binge the anime to watch that episode or something like that because it's all so garbage. Who cares if there was one good episode? Simone Debesai, thanks a lot. Yo, Morj, what did you major in college, and do you think it helped you develop a literary analysis skills you use for your videos because you're amazing? Thank you very much. In college, I majored in political science, government, and politics, which is garbage. Do not get that degree. It is useless. But the good news is that my other major interest was film studies. So most of the like elective classes and stuff like that were all film-related courses. International film, history of American film, comparative film studies, stuff from specific eras, stuff like that. So that definitely helped more. And then also English lit classes. But I was always, in high school, English lit was always like, that was my thing, kind of. I mean, it's not anything crazy like STEM or whatever, but like that was always like what I was just by far the best at. And I would actually like read the books and do like do the actual like this. I wouldn't just spark note shit, if that makes sense. For the most part, some books were trash, but yeah, I'd say that the humanities courses that I took that were more film related or like English studies, like you just read a certain number of books and you see like how certain things that people are looking for when they're doing analysis of things, and you pick up on a lot. Kenya Fregoso, thank you very much. Do you think Zoro will fight Kaido again? I actually think yes. But that's because I think the raid will fail, so I think everyone's getting another shot. Ogi 5000, thank you very much. How do you think Zoro will turn Enma into a Black Blade? Congrats on 100k BTW. So it's weird, because in my mind, Zoro should turn Enma into a Black... Like, I think it should become a Black Blade this arc, because it just feels like that's part of his journey for this arc, but it also doesn't functionally make sense that much at this moment, because it's implied that you need a lot of combat experience to get it there. So it's hard to see exactly how, but I guess if it's like an end of story thing, I guess that'll be satisfying as well. Maybe during the Mihawk battle if it's not this arc. Swinkle Todd, thanks a lot. Only one chance to congrats you on the 100k. Keep up the great work, Morj. I discovered you and Ohara through your Wano report at the start of the Ronin. Wow, it's always cool when people like discover... I hear that people discovered me through the Wano report. Because the Wano report is something I'm like... I feel like only current Morj and Ohara viewers will ever like see the Wano report. But it's always interesting when like people actually find me through that first. Ignacio Vicuna, thank you very much. Duckrat, thanks a lot. Don't let people make you think... No, what just happened? What did I do? What did I do? Duckrat, don't let people make you think otherwise. OP anime could be better. Sure, the animation is good, but we shouldn't conform ourselves. Congrats, Morj. Thank you very much. Samuya Goel. Hey, congrats on 100k. I watched some of your analysis videos a year back. I started watching your content again, and when you were doing chapter reviews and subbed recently. Thank you very much. It's fun to watch chapter reviews from people and reading manga weekly. I agree. Let me see. Very real answer, and you basically reminded me. Yeah, JD, you were like staying super consistent for like a little bit, right? I think you might still be doing that. I'll be honest, like I haven't watched your videos, but that's nothing personal. I just don't watch I just don't watch other people's One Piece videos, period, nowadays. There was a time, maybe 2 years back, when I was more interested in doing that, but now I just... now I'm just more in my box, doing my thing. I'm sure you're putting out good videos, but don't stop. Like, the consistency really matters, and like obviously feel free to like reach out for questions for like if you're like, how do you rocket your channel a little faster, because there are some rules that I think I picked up as I learned from taking hiatuses and not taking hiatuses. HVSF1313, will you ever do an all One Piece character tier list? I might do a character like Powerscaling tier list at the end of Wano when we've got a lot of data to go off of. I think an important lesson that people should take away from everything we've been seeing is that like it's hard to make tier lists when we have very little data to go off of in terms of Powerscaling, because like people's opinion, like Zoro's the perfect example. Where people would have rated Zoro before this was a lot. Like I would see random stuff on Twitter about like how Zoro's like probably one of the weakest supernova, and now a lot of people are probably going to put him at like number 2. Not to say that that's necessarily right, because we also haven't seen a lot of what other people can do, but I'm just saying like you need to get like a lot of evidence before we can before we can like actually start scaling people, in my opinion. Some people would have put Kaido as like undisputed number 1 before this arc started, and now that's shifted a little bit. My God, I'm so far behind. X-Root89, since Luffy has called his shot this chapter, he'll beat Kaido. Do you think he'll do so, but the raid will still fail somehow? No, just go reread chapter 199. That's all I gotta say. Reread chapter 199 and compare it to the most recent chapter. I don't think this confirms Luffy's about to beat Kaido at all. But I mean, it could. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that like this in itself proved, because we have past evidence that stuff like this has happened before and it hasn't panned out that way. Ninerbot, thanks a lot. Sometimes the anime is better than the manga, like Brooks' flashback. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely, like, I'm not denying the reality, especially pre-time skip. All of the good moments, like Luffy's jet gatling, like the really emotional, like the anime is inherently going to hit harder for all of the really, really good moments. It's just past a certain point when those moments are, because you've got the music, you've got the voice acting, you've got like scene direction that can be done much more elegantly with animation than just like singular panels. Like it should always be better. It should always be better than the manga. The fact that like 5% of the time it's better, and like that percentage is going down more and more and more. And like the point is that like moments like that are like so much fewer and far between the further that we go in the anime. That's just like, what's the point? Like, obviously some things are going to be better in the anime. That shouldn't be like, you shouldn't be like holding that as like some sort of a big win, like, oh, and people say the anime is bad. Like, what would it take for you to believe the anime is bad? If literally every single scene and every single moment was worse than the manga? Is that what it would take for you to believe that the anime is bad? If literally like all of it, there's not a single thing the anime does a better scene that it does than the manga? If that's what like your standard is, then sure, the anime is not bad. But like that's not the standard you should be going by. Of course the anime is going to do some parts better than the manga. It's supposed to be doing that. Like, it's just it's supposed to be better than the manga. That's the point. You're taking a work that's just black and white drawings, and you're adding animation and voice and color and sound and movement. It's supposed to be better. It's not supposed to be better 5% of the time. It's supposed to be as good for the most part and better in some parts. Also, I probably like heated over the anime, but that's just because I'm sad for the most part. Because like you guys have to understand, like I got into One Piece like you guys, like as an anime watcher. So that was like, One Piece anime was my favorite anime for a while. Like I'm just sad that like it's at a point where like I can't go back and watch my favorite show anymore because it's just such a bad show at this. Like I'm just sad. Like it legitimately does hurt me and bother me that the anime is the way it is now. HVSF1313, thank you very much. Wait, no, we already did this. My bad, guys. Xroot89, since Luffy has called his no, wait. We're so far back. I'm sorry. Let's go. Paper, what do you think of Jinbei dying in Wano? He just seems like the kind of guy that would sacrifice himself for Luffy. I don't know why. I've seen a lot of that sentiment. That's actually something that I just can't really imagine, if that makes sense. I feel like Jinbei's, because he just joined, so the weight of Jinbei dying would not be as strong because he's just such a recent addition. In my mind, like it would be like he joins the crew for a moment and then he just dies. I guess it would be, I guess it would be, powerful, but it just feels like a little weird to me. It would feel weird more than anything else. Yeah. Like, I've seen people say that, like, Jinbei is a very sacrificial character, so maybe that makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, it would just still feel a little weird to me. Let's get back to where we're currently at. Anuj Agarwal, congrats, Morj. Been watching you for a long time, so seeing you and this community grow just warms my heart. Can you do an ARC tier list on stream? Oh, that'd be fun. Guys, what are some fun stream ideas? Because I've actually had a few. I think I want to do streams every Sunday from now on, and I don't just want to reiterate what the most recent chapter was. I think it'll be more fun to just do streams in general. So if you've got some good ideas, then let me know. Ankazar Warrior. Oh, Ankazar. I recognize you for a while back as well. Same with you, Anuj Agarwal. I should have said that. Hey, Morj, I've been watching since the beginning. That's what I was saying. I've seen you for a while. And it's very cathartic to see your growth. Thank you, man. Congrats on 100K. Your analysis deepened my love for One Piece. I like to think that everyone can gain a little more love for One Piece from watching some of my videos. I like hearing that. Thank you very much. Somaya Goel, thanks a lot. Again, Uranus revealed in Elbaf. Do you think it would be Tama's teapot? BTW, completely agree with your OP anime take. After 6 years of torture, I switched to manga. It's more fun with chapter reviews anyway. Good move. And Uranus reveal in Elbaf. I think Uranus reveal could easily... It depends what you think Uranus is. I think it could easily happen in one of the in-between acts of Wano. Again, I think it's the hat that we saw. So, not Tama's teapot. But because I think it's the hat, I think that we could be getting that reveal kind of soon because it got teased so early on in this arc. God Complex, thanks a lot. Congrats on the milestone, bro. Been watching it for a while now. I can still remember when your Big Mom is Going to Wano video came out. It blew my mind when I saw it come true. Yes, people forget about that, but no, I swear to God, nobody believed that Big Mom was going to Wano. Like, it wasn't a thing. The consensus by far, was Big Mom is going... Elbaf is Big Mom's arc. And I switched a lot of people's minds on that as well with the Shanks stuff. Big Mom going to Elbaf or Luffy coming back to... Like, that was by far and away the consensus. Nobody was saying that she's going to Wano because it just wasn't on people's radars at that time. Joy Boy made a video after I did about Big Mom going to Wano. Joy Boy made a video significantly after I did about Big Mom going to Wano. But Joy Boy was also a Morj viewer at the time. So I'm definitely going to take credit for that as well because at that point the theory is out there because it's my theory and Joy Boy was a Morj viewer at that time. Joy Boy would tweet out a lot of my videos. Good guy. I did appreciate that because at that time I was like unknown. So having someone like Joy Boy tweet out like my Whole Cake Island analysis and stuff like that was like, it was just really appreciated at that time. I want that hat. Thank you very much. Joy Boy is one of the people I definitely want to get on a One Report at some point. I want that hat. Thanks a lot. I started on anime, but now I read, but my friends are anime only. I enjoy the anime, but I cry when new chapters hit and have to leave the call and join a One Piece call to yell about it. Yeah, rough life, man. You should, if you're a manga viewer, you should just like... I feel like if you're an anime viewer, it's very hard to avoid spoilers for the manga because, you know, a lot of stuff, like, first of all, it just comes out in the anime openings and stuff like that, you know. Is Rogers Base here? Where's Rogers Base at? Let me give him a mod. Rogers Base says, congrats on hitting 100K, 101K now. Thank you. Really enjoyed the convo we had the other day. Yeah, Rogers Base helped me out with some stuff that you guys will find out about, I guess, in a bit, probably later next month. And I'm excited to see what other content you're going to make now that you've hit the milestone. Thanks a lot, Rogers Base. I appreciate it for sure. Again, I appreciate the advice that you gave me from that call because, yeah, you all in chat are going to find out probably what we were talking about at some point soon. Joyman is ripped right now. Yeah, he is. I don't know what the fuck happened with Joy Boy. Someone says, where's the beard? So the beard, listen, when you hit 100K, you can't be sitting around like with just a giant beard. You need to look a little more professional past a certain point, you know? You think I'm going to get sponsorships with like a ridiculous, like not clean, not well-cut beard like I had before? No. So now that we're at 100K, we're going to turn up the professionalism a little bit. You know what's very sad is that I don't know if the beard was the thing that was stopping the sponsorships. Because I talked to the other... So, like, O'Hara apparently gets sponsorship offers all the time. we were talking, like, it's been a thing for, like, a little bit. Like, we were talking, he was like, yeah, I've been waiting to, we get sponsorship offers, but trying to kind of be picky and, like, make the right choice with who I choose as a sponsor and stuff. And I'm sitting there like, be picky? What are you talking? I don't even have sponsorship offers. Why are you being picky? I wish I had a sponsorship offer. I would take it in a heartbeat. Or is sitting there getting to shop. I'm just like, you guys are getting sponsorships? What the hell? Give me one. Let me have one of your sponsorships. Aslan, thanks a lot. Always a good familiar face to see. Congrats, Mr. Morj. Been here since 60K and fell in love with your channel because of your hockey video. Anyways, mind telling us your kid theory? I will tell you guys my kid theory at the end of Act 3. Because if it was wrong, I'll just tell you guys what it was anyway. But if it's right, then, it is what it is. Guys, the beard thing is a joke. The beard thing is a joke. I shaved because the beard was a little long. It's going to grow back out anyway. As name N says, the beard is literally on my logo. Yeah, so sometimes probably going to have I prefer to switch between, like, clean-shaven to a moderate-sized beard. When it gets past a certain point, then I just shave it, and it looks like this. We're clean-shaven again. Zachary says, will you display the silver play button? I'll do, like, once I get it, I'll do, like, a thing about it. Daniel Lee says, shocking, the brown men can't get sponsorships while the white guys are rolling in them. No, that's not why. Because Indian companies could sponsor me too. There are plenty of Indian companies that could perfectly well be reaching out to me and be saying, hey, we want you as the face of whatever the Indian version of Gillette is. I don't know. All right, I should be getting as many sponsorships as... It's not the race. It's not the race. This is purely... it's purely the beard. Sell the beard. I mean, shave the beard, get a sponsorship. Shave the beard and sell out. That's what I'm trying to say. Renstown says the beard growth will end in failure. Juan Pretz is Morj sponsored by T-Series. Yeah, where's my T-Series sponsorship? You guys remember this T-Series PewDiePie battle that was going on? And that was, like, a huge thing. And, like, the thing that was going around was, like, subscribe to PewDiePie, subscribe to PewDiePie. I was on T-Series' side the entire time. I was like, let's fucking go. We're taking over this place. I don't like their music. I don't like their videos, but I'm obligated to be on T-Series' side. I supported them through that entire thing. And did I get one sponsorship out of it? No. Not a single sponsorship. JP Earthall says, got any One Piece figures? No. No, I do. I talked about it earlier. I got, like, one One Piece figure. It's like Luffy figurine. Nothing crazy. One Blue Piece says, T-Series crush PewDiePie. I was like, yes, good. I had nothing against PewDiePie. Actually, like, I'm not like a PewDiePie fan, but, like, I thought he'd seen some PewDiePie videos. I thought he's, like, a fun, entertaining guy. But I had to side with T-Series. Just felt like that was the right thing to happen. Mr. J. Walker says, didn't give a damn about T-Series, but I supported. Yeah. Yeah. Princess Taco says, do One Piece Laughs tier list, lol. One Piece Laughs is hard. Aniket Kakarecha says, can you speak Hindi? Can I speak Hindi? So the answer is yes. मैं हिंदी बोल सकता हूँ. So in Hindi that means I can speak Hindi. But my Hindi has gotten worse and worse every year. There was a point I'd say I was clearly fluent, probably like 10 years back. And that has slowly deteriorated with each passing year to the point that I am passable. Like, if I was dropped in India, I'd be able to, like, I'm fine. Like, I've gone to India 1 year ago, and I was fine, but I also had, my family and stuff, so, like, I had a crutch if I didn't understand something. But, so my Hindi is passable. Like, I can get by if I was just dropped in a country, like, in India, and nobody spoke English. I'd be fine. I'd be able to, like, get by and stuff, but I'm not, like, fluent. Like, I can't hold long conversations. I want that hat. Says, T-Series versus PewDiePie Powerscaling. Don't really know what that would entail. Zehaha, Zestir, I would agree. Do I look like a jazz man? How do I look like a jazz man? Not a jazz man. I actually don't like jazz music too much. It's like okay. Not like the biggest fan. Kind of interested in like how this stream is looking on YouTube. Is the delay still there, guys? I feel like I finally caught up with chat. Yeah, the stream seems fine. This dude capping. John Hom says, I alone am the honored one. Yeah, I like that quote a lot. From Jujutsu Kaisen. Morj, not a jazz man. No delay at all. So is the stream basically fixed? The stream's all good? Triad says, Morj, in your opinion, do you feel Whoop Slap could teach Luffy how to use Conqueror's armament better? I'm sure he could, but I don't think that it's going to be convenient because Whoop Slap's all the way back in East Blue. Kisle Tawari says, is Morj a real name? If not, then what is it inspired by? Morj is not a real name. Morj is, no, there's nobody in this world actually named Morj, I'm pretty sure. Goatbrook 10 says, LMAO, I need Morj to read my question. Goatbrook, I'm all ears. What is your question? Potential Pizza says, who's the best name in One Piece and why is it Whoop Slap? Not joking, it's Don Quixote do Flamingo. One Piece has such cool names. Bartholomew Kuma, Don Quixote do Flamingo, Dracula Mihawk, especially the Shichibuka. One Piece just has such awesome names. Why are the names so good? Why are such good names? Morj, a legend name. Morj was based off of Smosh, because when I was really, really young, I wanted to make a YouTube channel. And at the age that I was at, it was like middle school, like early middle school for me at that time, like Smosh was getting big. So, Smosh was getting big, so I was like, I'm going to make a YouTube channel called Morj. And then a bunch of years later, as a tribute to my past self, made my YouTube channel Mr. Morj when I started it. It was actually Morj initially. That was taken, so then I did Mr. Morj. Was taken, so I had to do Mr. Morj Man. And that was like the entire name. And now people just call me Mr. Morj because the man didn't stick. Zero -1, thank you very much. Are you a fan of Zane, the SSBM Marth main? Yeah. Zane is really... It's the weirdest thing, because there's not a lot of Indians in Smash. And that was just a thing for a long time. So I didn't really think about it, but I'd always kind of been like, oh, it'd be cool if like there's a top Indian player. And then suddenly a top Indian player did pop up. And I was like, that is pretty cool. Well, he's not Indian, I don't think, but he's, close enough skin color-wise. So I did think that was pretty cool. But I don't... I'm not the biggest Marth fan in general. I prefer Spacies. I play Fox. If you ever run into me on Slippy Unranked and I'm not playing Fox, just know that I'm not playing my main. So if you beat me, it doesn't matter. But... If you beat my Fox, like, people have tweeted at me after I played them on Slippy online that, like, Morj, I think I just played you, and, we had some games, and I was like, oh, that's why you stuck around even though you were four-stalking me over and over. Sometimes I can tell that people are, like, playing me a little longer because they probably recognize my tag and just want to play with a YouTuber they know. But point being, I'm a Fox player. I like watching other Fox players, and to an extent, I suppose, I'm not really a Falco fan, but I'm a Manga fan. So, I really respect Zane. I think Zane is awesome. He's the best player in the world. But I'm not a Zane fan, if that makes sense. I like Zane. He's actually a really cool personality, too, if you watch any of his streams or YouTube content. Matterbot, thanks a lot. I don't like how Luffy went from being a simple pirate to being the chosen one. Also, who's your favorite villain? So Luffy being a simple pirate to chosen one, I think that transition was a little... I think we need to wait and see a little more before we just declare it as that, because that's my initial reaction as well. That, I didn't like this Luffy being the chosen one type setup, but I think we gotta wait a little bit, see how this plays out, kind of just feel out whether this is gonna be a permanent sort of situation, or if Oda's gonna have a little spin or twist on it, which I would really prefer. Favorite villain is probably Crocodile. There's a difference between my favorite villain, like who do I think made for the best villain of an arc, which I think was Crocodile. But I like Doflamingo better as a character, if that makes sense. Like, I think Crocodile played the villain role. He was the most menacing, intimidating villain that I think One Piece has ever had for the course of an entire arc. He just felt unbeatable, felt like he had a really well thought out master plan. He just kind of scaled up, because like, the previous big villain we had was Arlong, and Arlong was such small potatoes compared to like what Crocodile was up to. It just felt like Crocodile just kind of changed the game in terms of what we can expect from the conflict of a One Piece arc and who the big bad is. He was Luffy's first big loss twice. It was just very different. Like, Doflamingo did not bring as much to the table in terms of changing the villain game, in my opinion, as Crocodile did. Doflamingo was a really good character and more well fleshed out, and there was more to him as a character. But he was always on the back foot from the moment. Like, Doflamingo was always on the back foot from the moment the whole conflict started, because Law already had him on the back foot, like, kind of trying to piece things together and hold things. Like, Doflamingo from the start was like everything was falling apart for him. And he did a good job, like, holding that together, but he was never he was never the threat that Crocodile was in the context of their arcs, because Crocodile just seemed like, what are we going to do about this? Like, Luffy can't beat him. No one can beat him. His organization is too big. Like, he's got the entire country in the palm of his hands. It was very difficult to overcome. Like, they couldn't even stop the war from happening. The war broke out at the end of the day. So Crocodile just more intimidating for his time, more of a bump up from what the previous villain was Arlong. In terms of the scale of what he was setting up and what his plan was. Just felt like more of a mastermind. Just kind of really set in stone, like the feeling that this is a really, really big bad that is going to take. It's going to be like a mountain to overcome, this Crocodile Baroque Works antagonist organization. God Complex, thanks a lot. In your world building video, you mentioned One Piece isn't necessarily the craziest world you've seen, and showed a pic of a giant space turtle. That is from a series called Discworld. It is very funny. It's not just a comedy series, but if you like comedy, it has a healthy dose of it. It's by Terry Pratchett. And I would say that is probably the craziest fantasy world that I've seen. Like, in terms of... Okay, it's hard to say. Like, in terms of the actual structure of it, that's probably the craziest. But I don't know if that's, like, the craziest across the board in terms of, like, every little town and city that there is in that place. Like, I'm saying, like, just the fact that it's on the back of a giant turtle and everything like that, that's swimming through space, that's, you know... And I know that comes from mythology to a degree. Craziest fantasy world, maybe it is One Piece, because I think the average island-to-island One Piece stuff that we see is pretty insane. Pokemon and Chill, Morj and my guy, I'll hook you up with a butter chicken sponsorship. Thanks, Pokemon and Chill. I'm going to be right back, guys. Go to the bathroom real quick. Strong flush. Thank you. Take pride in that. The flush will end in failure. Who says it didn't? Who says I don't have, like, a completely malfunctioning toilet back there? Let's see. Nicholas Taylor says, hot take, Davy Backfight arc and Foxy arc are best arc / antagonist. Yeah, that's a hot take for sure. I think usually hot takes are things that like I kind of have some sort of inkling of respect for. I'm just like, I don't believe you with that one. Heroic Spirit Freinen, Heroic Spirit Freinen is saying, do you read the manga Freinen at the funeral? So, no, Freinen. I do not read the manga Freinen. I've actually never heard of it. Maybe it's good. I haven't tried it. Will you do analysis on Crocodile? I think there's certain characters that I would just want some more material before I did an analysis video on. So Crocodile is a character that I would really love to do an analysis video on, but I would want like a little more stuff to work with. So if he showed back up in the story or something like that, and we kind of got a little more insight into where he's at right now in life, what he's up to, what his storyline seems to be, then I would probably do an analysis video on Crocodile. Him, Spotado Head too. Morj, big fan. What plot lines do you think will not get resolved by the end of the series? Will not get resolved by the end of the series. I like to think none. I like to think they will all be resolved. So that's basically it. I think they'll all be resolved. I think Oda's the type of writer who will try to resolve all of them. Dax Steffens is Attack on Titan ending. I have not checked it. I don't know what the Attack on Titan ending is. Covered this right. I've not checked what the Attack on Titan ending is, and I'm not super motivated to check it out because I saw that it did disappoint some people. Not everyone, it seems like, but it did disappoint some people, it looks like. Easy News Explains says he missed my question. Can you tell me what your question was? Everyone look out for Easy News Explains question. Wait, where'd he go? I've already lost it. I'm sure we'll find it. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Alright, we lost it. Oh no, Easy News Explains. Everyone just look out for his question. Alright, got that covered. Just post your question again. Mythal C says, what do you think will happen after Wano? I think after Wano we're going to get some world building stuff on the outside stuff. I think there'll be some big moves with everything that's happening in the Rev Army, the Revolutionary Army type stuff. Yeah, and I should hope that we get, I suppose, Shanks on the move, because Oda did kind of mention that that's going to be a thing. So I hope we just get a lot of big outside world building stuff, and then I hope we get Elbaf. Garrowald, thank you very much. Do you think Luffy's actually Joy Boy? I would really not like if Luffy is actually just somebody else. I would like if Luffy is just Luffy, and I would like if he's carrying on sort of the will of somebody else. I think that fits the theme of the series a lot. But I would not like if Luffy actually is just Joy Boy incarnate. That would mean like we're reading about a character that's a totally different character this entire time. And I would feel like a lot more is kind of just set in stone and just predestined, which I don't think fits. You know, I think One Piece choice matters a lot. You know, it's part of freedom. So I would rather that that's not the case. I like the idea that things are an extension of the will of people from the past, but I would rather that not be like a hard, concrete, set in stone, predetermined series of events that have to happen from there. His question, I assume we're talking about Easy News Explains, was his question is how will Katakuri return to the story? I like to think that we're going to get to cut back to Whole Cake Island in the middle of everything that's happening right now, hopefully between acts, because there is some talk of like Blackbeard saying, well, if they're not going to pick it up, then we'll just pick it up. And I like to think that he was talking about Whole Cake Island. So if Blackbeard was talking about Whole Cake Island, and that to me opens up the possibility that the Blackbeard pirates are considering going after Whole Cake Island, which I've said for the fourth time this sentence. But we could see some confrontation possible between Katakuri and the Blackbeard pirates. Katakuri and I suppose Cracker is the other big name that's there, Cracker and Snack. So I hope that we get some sort of plotline popping out from there. Jameson, thank you very much. Jameson Hilgendorf. Do you think Yamato has conquered Saki since she was able to use Thunder Bagua? Also, congrats on 100K. I gotta check the panel again, but was there Black Lightning coming out of it? One, I don't know if it's I suppose it's practically confirmed that Black Lightning means Conqueror's Haki, right? I suppose that's all but confirmed that, like, when we see that Black Lightning stuff, it means Conqueror's Haki. But just because she used the name doesn't mean that that's what it was, because we saw Ulti get back up perfectly fine. I mean, Ulti spit out some blood, but, like, for the most part, Ulti's comment was like, that wasn't a real Thunder Bagua. Like, I doubt that she... maybe she has Conquerors, but I don't know if she has the advanced Conquerors, you know what I mean, where you can actually let it flow out of your attacks. Let me get someone who I haven't answered before. Just Chadare. I don't think I've seen this. Do you plan on making a video about Zoro being stronger than Odin? Okay, so sometimes people will message me on Twitter or make comments and stuff on YouTube about, like, can you make a theory video about this? And then they'll give me a theory that they believe that I don't think I've ever said that I have. I think they just assume it's a given that I share the same opinion. I don't currently think that Zoro is stronger than Odin. Sorry, I don't think that Odin is stronger than Odin, so I know that's not a theory, but to me that's, like, along those lines. So I don't know if Odin, like, Zoro is stronger than Odin, so I don't know if I would just, like, assume that, I'm probably not going to make a video on Zoro being stronger than Odin if I don't actually believe that Zoro is necessarily stronger than Odin. Need reviving, thanks a lot. Sorry if you've answered this before, don't be sorry. I've answered many of the questions I get, I have answered before in some capacity. Sorry if you've answered this before, but do you think Sanji might have Conqueror's Haki? If not, do you feel like Sanji will catch up to Zoro and Luffy somewhat in the future? I have. That being said, I have answered this one before this stream. And I do think that Sanji does not have Conqueror's Haki. I don't think you need Conqueror's Haki to be as strong as some individuals who have it. So I do think that Sanji, like, as a fighter, can easily for example, do we think that Luffy and Zoro right now are stronger than every character who doesn't have Conqueror's Haki in the series? No, right? Like, you wouldn't put Luffy up, like, do you think Zoro's beating, like, Kizaru right now? Do you think Zoro's beating Garp right now? Like, you don't need Conqueror's Haki to be that top level. It sounds like it might be a necessity to beat someone like Kaido, but even that's a question mark, because let's say Akainu doesn't have Conqueror's Haki. Do you think Akainu can't severely damage Kaido with what Oda has said is, you know, the top tier offensive Devil Fruit, or at least of the highest caliber in terms of offense Devil Fruit? Maybe not, like, the most offensive, but it is a top tier offensive Devil Fruit. So, I mean, those are things to consider. Point being, I don't think Sanji's character Conqueror's Haki fits for that, but there's other branches of Haki you can get good at, and other ways that Sanji can improve, not Conqueror's Haki related, that could still put him in the same ballpark. And I think that's just always where he's going to kind of be, like, in that ballpark, but not necessarily equal. Like, definitely not equal to Luffy. Maybe sometimes seeming comparable to Zoro, other times Zoro seeming ahead. I've made a video about this. I think that that's just always going to be the nature of the Monster Trio dynamic, that sometimes it'll seem like Luffy and Zoro at the top, sometimes it'll seem like Luffy at the top and Zoro and Sanji below him. That's just the way it is, and I think it varies. Joey Jojo, thank you very much. Congrats, your favorite straw duo such dynamic, and why? Mine is Luffy and Nami, since both have traits that perfectly make up for what each other lack. Luffy and Nami is a great duo in the Straw Hats. My personal favorite is probably Luffy and Zoro. I think Luffy and Nami might be second favorite for me, but I'd really, really like Luffy and Zoro just because, I don't know, it doesn't come up super frequently, but when it does, they both are just so on the same wavelength, and, like, their characters are different in so many ways, but there's this big overlap in terms of the way that they think and act, and that's what makes them conquerors, in a sense. And a lot of it's very unspoken. I think just Luffy and Zoro's interactions in serious moments is often really, really just interesting to watch, because it's two characters that you know are in the same headspace in one particular way. Even if normally, like, Luffy's really goofy, Zoro's really serious, not really a fun-loving, goofy party guy. Like, when it comes down to a certain space in battle, or when matters get to a certain serious point, you see a similar personality and mentality come out. And that kind of just, Oda's saying a lot with them both being conquerors confirmed, in that, like, a lot of what you can relate to Conqueror's Haki is a lot of these traits that Luffy and Zoro both have, in terms of, like, this sort of larger-than-life displays of will, of character, of stubbornness, of perseverance. There's just so much that you can read into the fact that Luffy and Zoro, even though being very different in terms of personality traits for so many ways, the fact that there is this huge overlap area and the fact that this is kind of what defines them as conquerors, there's so much that you can kind of get out of that. Straight banana action. Oh, shoot. Let me scroll up. Straight banana action. Not sure if this has been asked before, but do you think Kaido and Big Mom are meant to be portrayed as in their prime or past prime? I think easily in their prime. I think Oda makes it really clear when a character is past their prime. Like, really, really clear. Like, Whitebeard, Oda beat it into our heads that he is past his prime. I think Garp, Oda also, right away, he made it clear. Garp is past his prime. I think there are characters like, on the other hand, like Sengoku, where I don't think Oda has that, like, I've seen people say that Sengoku's past his prime or whatever, or Sengoku during Marineford was not prime Sengoku. Why do you think that's not prime? Like, it can't just be age, because we only found out his age after, like, if you did not know Sengoku's age during the war, you would have no reason to think that Sengoku's, like, a really, really old dude. Like, he looks perfectly fit and in his prime. He's not, like, there's no mention of him being past his prime or, like, tired or not as good as he once used to be. I think now that Sengoku's taken a few years off and we see visually Oda's gone out of his way to show that Sengoku is aged, now you can start saying Sengoku's probably not in his prime. But I think Oda always, like, Oda's just very clear with it. If he wants you to understand that a character is no longer in their prime, he just makes it clear. Kaido is definitely in his prime right now. Big Mom, you could kind of make an argument purely based on age, but as far as we understand, like, she's basically still an indestructible monster by all means, so there's no reason to really believe that she has aged or fatigued in any way. Anything Kaido's saying about, like, oh, can you still fight, you old hag, that's more so just to make fun of her age, not her actual fighting ability. Priya saying, thank you very much. The island that Shanks and Buggy, when he was ill, stayed at resembles St. Poplar Island from CP9 cover story. Could Laughdale be somewhere in the first half of the Grand... Oh, wait, is that actually the case? I'd never heard of that before. That's pretty interesting. I would have to check St. Poplar compared to that island. I don't think that Laughdale is in the first half of the Grand Line, though, because that would mean that they would have to go back, and I don't really imagine that happening, like, easily. Like, there's not an easy way to do it at this point in the story. I think it should have to be somewhere at the end of the New World, because it's just, I think, a little more satisfying to see them have to get towards that end point. So I don't think it's the last island necessarily, but it should be towards that latter half of the New World, in my opinion. Acrylic YT, message retracted. What did they say? Jetty ET says, are you a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I really like JoJo's as a series. I really, really, really like it. It's probably... Like, I find it hard for me to rank series because I've realized that I'm always very biased towards whatever I've read recently. But JoJo's has always felt, like, to me, like one of my 3, 4, 5 favorite series. Maybe, like, third, second, I don't know. It varies. So, for example, right now I haven't read Steel Ball Run in a minute. So it's not exactly super fresh in my mind. But once I get to read JoJo Leon, I'll probably be like, JoJo's is my second favorite series or something like that. Then let some time pass, maybe not so much. Because there's a lot of good series out there, and a lot of things vary based on where they're at in the story right now. So, I mean, I use Berserk as an example. Berserk, for the first 200 chapters, I was like, this is easily my second favorite series. Definitely dropped off for me significantly after the first 200 or so chapters. But I still view it overall as one of my top 2, top 3 favorite series, but I definitely don't view it as, like, one of my favorite things to read right now. So it kind of depends, like, do you value a series based on your peak enjoyment reading it, how much you're enjoying it right now, how you view the work overall. It depends. So JoJo's, I'm a big fan. I think it has the worst fan base out of any fan base I've ever seen. Like, just the most obnoxious people. I've heard One Piece fans are obnoxious, and I can totally understand that. But JoJo's fans are, like, something totally different. Like, I really, really dislike the community around JoJo's because it's just the most obnoxious people. And I think that makes sense because if you're like a hardcore JoJo's fan, you're probably a really weird person. I like the series, so like keep that in mind. So like I'm like roasting myself here probably, but I think the people that really like JoJo's, like really, really love JoJo's and like wear it on their sleeve, I think they're probably generally really weird people. So I think that just makes for like a really weird, what do you call? Really weird community that's just really obnoxious. And you can't like insult it for some reason. Otherwise they get really, like, if you insult Steel Ball Run, which is probably the most overrated, like, again, I love Steel Ball Run, but it's by far the most overrated manga I've ever heard of. Like, by far. And if you insult it or point out how many things are actually, like, bad or not well thought out, or loose threads, or thematic ideas that actually aren't that congruent, people will get very defensive over it. MD, thank you very much. Congrats on 100K. Do you think Uma got the immortality surgery? His silhouette particularly looks like an old man. I think him and Joy Boy were friends. I do think Imu got the immortality surgery. That's like an idea that's floated around for a while, right? Do I think him and Joy Boy were friends? I don't know. Acrylic YT, I did see, it said your comment was redacted. I can't imagine what you must have said. It must have been pretty bad. So, how about you just comment it here again, and let's see what you got to say. I'll watch out for your name. Brandon says, who is the GOAT of Melee? An excellent question, Brandon. Armada. And Mango is my favorite player by far. I'm literally one of those people that stops watching. I don't really watch the online tournaments because they don't have the hype or appeal to me. I'll check the results later. But back when I used to watch Melee tournaments, I was one of those people that would turn off the stream if Mango lost. If Mango didn't win, I was just like, I'm out of here, I'm done. But I can't like deny, like, it's so unfair how they're trying to do Armada right now. It's like, yeah, I get the argument that you can't hold the title of GOAT forever if you're not competing and if people are getting better, but it's way, way, way too early to even start having the conversation that, like, somebody else is the GOAT aside from Armada. Like, Manga could probably start making that if he starts by getting, like, world #1 again, at least for the year, and, like, winning some significant majors again. Like, and that's the starting point. Not like these ticky-tack online tournaments. I mean, that's not to invalidate the online tournaments and stuff, but, like, do something big in Smash World Tour, end the year as world #1, and then you can start having a discussion again. Like, Armada was... Like, what Armada did in Melee was just, like, it was ridiculous. Like, literally did not lose to people outside the top 6 for years and years and years and years. He was the final boss of that game. Like, I would just watch and it was just such a guarantee that Armada makes it there. Like, the only reason it's even a discussion that Armada might not be the GOAT now, it's just sad to me. It's purely because he's not a popular player. That's literally it. Like, if he had the fan base of Mango, then it would be no debate among the community at large that, like, Armada still retains the title of best player of all, or, like, greatest player of all time. He's not the best anymore. I imagine today's players would beat him, like Zayn and such. But Mango is my favorite player by far, and I hope that he does get year #1 back. I hope he does win Smash World Tour. I just can't, like, I can't lie to myself and be like, Mango's the greatest player of all time. Lucy B, thanks a lot. Will Kobe manage to capture Hancock? Not Kobe, Fujitora probably. I think. Like, how's Kobe gonna do it? Riri says the GOAT is clearly HBox. HBox has he doesn't have an argument, but, like, if he had just kept it up for, like, another year or so, what he was doing in 2019, I want to say, if he'd kept that up for one more year, then he's got an argument. Amen0981 says, happy born day, bro. It is not my birthday. Is that what you think? You think this is a birthday stream? You think this is a birthday stream right now? Thanks for the birthday wishes, man. AJK, Morj, we back, bro. What happened? I just had my birthday. You just got 100K. Oh, I see. So they were saying happy birthday to this guy, to AJK. It all comes together now. It is a birthday stream. We're celebrating me and AJK. He just had his birthday. 100k subscribers, and I'm still not a mod here. You forgot me. Life is sad. I forgot about the birthday storyline. It's been so long. Yeah, you deserve mod. I'm very sorry. God Complex. Do you like any other fighting games or just Melee? So I mean, like, I've dabbled. So like, I played Mortal Kombat for a while, Injustice, even like Killer Instinct randomly because like my roommate had it on his Xbox for like free or something for a while. So I've played other fighting games to a degree, but I know that those NRS games aren't as respected as say like a Street Fighter or a Tekken. So those are the games that I've played, but I know that they're not as respected as like other fighting games. So I do want to get into stuff like Street Fighter. That seems very, very interesting to me. And it's more footsies oriented, which is my preferred part of any of the fighting games, like be it Melee, be it Mortal Kombat, etc. So for what I've seen, Street Fighter is by far the game that I most want to get into. But the tricky thing is I would need to buy a new console to do that sort of thing, because I can't just mooch off of roommates forever, you know? So I'll probably do that in a bit. So Prototype Virgo, I have some bad news for you. Really bad news. All right, everybody. Wait, do I have... Okay, so I have... okay, I guess there's no mark right now, but I got my vaccination this morning. Second vaccination, all right? I was kind of going to show the stream my vaccine little shot mark. I got my second vaccination this morning. So this was going to be a drinking stream initially. I swear I did not lie to you, Virgo. This was going to be a drinking stream initially. I actually did have, like, beers lined up, if you can see. But I kind of decided against it after a little bit because I don't know medical stuff. But I do want this vaccine to do its work as well as possible. So, I don't know. I'm probably not drinking. That's basically what I landed on. I don't know. Does it matter if you drink after getting the vaccine? Can somebody tell me? Does it matter? If it doesn't matter, then maybe I'll start drinking a little bit. But if it does matter, I don't know medical stuff. I didn't take the time to look it up, but I was kind of just like, I've heard that you get bad symptoms and stuff after you get your second shot. Kind of just want to be, play on the right side of the you guys know what I mean. Play it safe. That's what the phrase is. Priya Singh, thanks a lot. It was Sora 7's Mage's theory he released earlier. I don't remember what this theory was. But props to Sora 7. Prototype says, no Morj, I got my second vaccine. I drank that night. That's a cop-out. Liar. Drinking after a vaccine is just a bad idea. Virgo, look, I'm reading what my trusted mods are saying. Drinking after a vaccine is just a bad idea because the headaches and pain will be bad if you're dehydrated. Well, I've got water here. So I've got an angel and a devil on my shoulder. Virgo is obviously the devil. Potential Pizza's the angel. Do we have somebody else? Do we have any other angels? I'm very easily swayed at this moment. I need a tiebreaker. Virgo's saying, lol, it's fine, I'm just messing. Virgo, why don't you drink for the both of us? Don't let me trying to protect myself against this COVID stuff stop you from getting fucked up. AJK says, sing me a happy birthday song, Morj. There's nothing I would love to do more, AJK, than ban you right now for trying to derail the stream with that sort of nonsense. I ought to take your mod powers away. Justice for AJK. AJK is saying justice for AJK. B Machine says, you'll get ligma if you drink. I don't even know what ligma is. I don't want that. What's ligma? Just drink water is what some people are saying. Other people are saying drinking doesn't affect it at all. I asked my doc because I drink too much, lol. So this person's an alcoholic, so we're not going to listen to them. Turns out he had to go to the doctor for his... because he's got a legit alcoholism problem. So I'm just not going to listen to you. Keegs, thanks a lot. Congrats on the Milestone, Morj. What would be a bad/disappointing series finale for One Piece look like? If they found out that there is an evil character named Kaguya who's from the moon, who is actually secretly the big bad of the entire series. I think that would be pretty disappointing, am I right? Prototype Virgo says, lol, I'm at work. So you're not even drinking. You're trying to pressure me into drinking. That's cool. Sean Freeman says drink. To you, Sean. Yeah, I would have liked to drink today, but I don't know. Bubba says if you have no symptoms, should be fine. But I'm like, don't the symptoms manifest like a little bit, like a little bit afterwards? I might be wrong on that. Blazing Blue, thanks a lot. Congrats on 100K. 2 questions. Will the Chainsaw Man reviews be going up on the 2nd chapter? And what do you think of a new Zeus being made from Kaido's flame clouds? I don't know if you can make a Zeus from Kaido's flame clouds because those aren't lightning. And from what we saw, it looked like Big Mom was doing something to the actual clouds above, so I assume she's making a new Zeus out of that. And Chainsaw Man reviews... The Chainsaw Man reviews are dead. The Chainsaw Man dream is dead. Chainsaw Man dream is dead. Sorry about that. Unless it goes on a 2nd channel. So 2nd channel might be, that's still possibly in the works. Never rule out the 2nd channel. I have a lot of content for it, but it's just like a lot of work. It would have to feel like worth it for me. Kevin Dreyer, thanks a lot. Do you think Tama's will die? Do you think Tama will die? No. Tama dying is like the saddest thing you can think of. She's like a 4-year-old kid. Who's gonna kill... Oh my god, did I fall for this Ligma stuff? No. I'm banning whoever brought up the Ligma thing in the first place. Who brought up Ligma? Everybody out of... You don't make fun of me like that and get away without a ban. Who started this Ligma stuff? Cersei DM, if we assume Im's immortal, I've never seen this spelling of Im, it's like YM. It means law doesn't need to make someone else immortal to justify why this ability exists, right? I don't want him to die. No, I guess not, but like Oda did make a big deal out of the idea that like, if you use this, then you die, Oda could have easily put some other restriction, like only one person can have the immortality operation, like only one person can be immortal at a time or something. It's something that gets passed on or something like that. Like there's other things Oda could have done other than be like, oh yeah, if you do this surgery, you die, So I don't know. What do you mean, how did I fall for that? Whoever thought of this is a genius. I'm not stupid. That person just outsmarted me. And now I want to ban them. Or make them a mod because they're a genius. How do you all of you know this Ligma thing? I've never heard of this. I guess it's like the modern version of Updog. Oh no, are we freezing? Hope we don't freeze. Nope, we're not freezing. The first one I see who brought up Ligma is Maddie Loner. Banned them. Now I don't know if I can go through with it. Maddie Loner, if you're here, speak up. Defend yourself. Say you weren't trying to say Ligma balls. Say you were saying like Ligma as in like an actual disease that some people have. Let's put up some defense. Monkey D. Ben, thank you very much. Would you mind making a list of series you've enjoy? I'm currently reading The Cosmere and watching The Wire. Cosmere, cool. Watching The Wire. I have not watched The Wire. I know it's a sin not to watch The Wire. Guys, I'm kidding. I'm not going to ban this person. Unless we find out for sure who it was. It was Joe. Joe, you're done for, Joe. Where's Joe at? I've not watched The Wire. Making a list of stuff, I don't know. Like, I did think, like, okay, what if I do a stream where just for fun I do, like, top 10s? So, like, my personal top 10s, movies, TVs, books, stuff like that. Just for fun. I didn't know if people would have, like, interest in that. Maybe I'll do that. Like, I'm trying to think of stream ideas to do because now I want to stream on Sundays in general. And not every stream is going to be a 100K celebration stream. So, because you only hit that really once, unless my subscriber count goes down by a few thousand and then I have to get it back up, in which case I can hit it again. But we probably wouldn't do a celebration stream at that point, right? So, if I need to think of a stream idea one day, then maybe I'll just do, lists of things that I enjoy. It'll be kind of fun, and maybe I can get, like, some audience interaction. So maybe we would do something like I put up my favorite stuff, and then we will have, like, little audience votes on your guys' favorite stuff. Potential pizzas, everyone knows this, Morj. You're behind the times, old man. That's cool. Every day I feel like I get further and further away from, like, modern society's jokes. Again, I don't know how TikTok really, really works, you know? No! They got me with Joe. No! No, you guys got me again. I'm ending the stream. It's over. The stream ended in failure. The stream ended in failure. The stream's over. I'm ending it. We're calling it on that. None of you guys defended me. Nobody was telling me, Morj, it's a trap. You guys just watched this happen. You watched it happen twice in a row. How am I going to trust any question from here on? Huh? Kevin Rare, my apologies. I feel like you have covered this in other videos. Here's like a real person's question. Not this Joe stuff, not this Ligma stuff. We have an honest One Piece question. Kevin Rare, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Let's look at your question. My apologies. I feel like you have covered this in other videos yet. Now, how do you feel this raid will fail? I can't imagine Tom on the Thousand Sunny. I still think the raid failing is like a solid possibility. I'm leaning towards it failing still more than not failing. Like, I'm not going to go over this in depth here just because I've got, like, other videos and stuff. Like, you can watch other videos. I put out a video probably in the last couple months on the raid failing still. So, like, I can just give you a more in-depth answer there. There's just not really a lot that, like, I want to add to it on the stream because it does feel like I'm beating a dead horse. As for Tom on the Thousand Sunny, you know, apprentices are a thing. I don't know if I think Tom is going to join, though. So, to me, I don't really imagine Tom on the Thousand Sunny either. Esther Spar. Oh, now the Lorges are coming out. Yeah. The Lorge. Alright. Jason Valencia says, what are your thoughts on the drop theory? Oh, what's the drop theory? Drop these nuts, huh? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know what you guys come up with. Nice try. Not falling for this stuff again. Roberto Perez says, what are your opinions on what happens to Sabo and Marjoas and what will Luffy do if he dies? I think Sabo gets captured. I think he may be an incentive down the line for Luffy to go up against the world government. Tristan H says, what is Wano's rating? So recently I did a video talking about like where I think Wano will land in terms of community perception and while, and I emphasized community perception throughout that because I was not sharing my initial thoughts. I think a lot of people took that as me saying that I think that, oh wait, Aslan. What did Aslan say? Morj, can you read my super chat? What's your super chat? Where's it at? I'm sorry if I missed it. No, this is Kevin Rare. Hobo Shoe, I'll get to you in a second. Aslan, what's your super chat? Great. It's frozen. Where's Aslan? Where's Aslan? Alright, Aslan, you're just going to have to repeat it. I'll get to you then. Hobo Shoe says, what bounty do you think Sawcon will get? Sawcon? Oh no, I need some mods for the mods. Everyone's in on it. Can you do an analysis on Candace? What does this even mean? Can you do an analysis on Candace? What's the joke here? You guys fill me in. I'm not even picking up on this one. What's Candace? Libizio, 7. Thank you very much. Hey, Morj, congrats on 100K. Any predictions for people who show up to Wano later? Maybe since she's meeting Kobe and he might inform her of Luffy. I don't think Boa makes it. I think Boa gets captured. I like to believe that if the raid fails, I still think the Marines can make it over. I still think that, for example, Bonnie could get slapped over by Kuma. There's things that can happen. Yeah, I picked up on Sakon. I already picked up on that one. Nice. What's the Candace one? Just explain the Candace one to me. How is Candace a trap? How is Candace a trap? I'm not joking. I swear to God, I literally don't get that one. Random Ataka says, who's best girl in One Piece? Candace? So many no's and F's in chat. Nyan Pahuja says, please explain the Reverie situation. I don't really know what that means. There's a lot going on at the Reverie, potentially. Oh no, Luke explained it. Can't believe my own mod did this to me. I need mods for my mods. My mods suck. The reason my mods suck is because I hand out moderators so I hand it out like candy. I give it out like it's a joke. Like anyone could get mod. Mostly it's been paid a mod, so people who donate a lot, they get mod privileges. But turns out that's not the way you should do mods, because then you get stuff like this. You get Candace, you get Ligma, you get Joe, you get Updog. This is a joke. And now no one can stop them. They've got infinite power. Aslan, I hope you're happy. Robo Yusuf says, make me a mod. I like to believe that Robo Yusuf will come in and instill some order into this place. Potential pizza. Potential pizza, the last line of defense. It's all good, potential pizza. It's all good. This has been a fun stream so far. Not gonna lie. Noah Skinner, thank you very much. Glad to finally catch one of these live. My question is, what do you think about the hypothetical situation of Ace, Sabo, and Luffy setting out together? Oh, if they'd done that? So Luffy never hits his full potential there is the rough part, but Ace does, most likely, which is the flip side. So we would have gotten to see full potential Ace. I think Luffy really needed to... I mean, there's a lot of things I could go in depth into if I were to do, like, a Luffy video. But there's a lot of things that Luffy really needed to be able to, like, strike out. Like, he wouldn't have developed Conqueror's Haki. If he was still working in Ace and Sabo's shadow that entire time. So I do think that a big part, honestly, of why Luffy developed Conqueror's Haki late, compared to certain other characters, such as Doflamingo, Ace, who developed it as children, was because Luffy was growing up, he was a follower, he was someone who was always needing to be taken care of. It was only after he found a group of friends, and only after the events of Eni Slavi and Thriller Bark, which were really the events that were about Luffy stepping up as a captain and the crew becoming his loyal supporters, and like that was what those two arcs really focused in on, like the new restructuring of the Strahd's dynamic as captain and his loyal subordinates and his crew. It was only after that did he then start developing Conqueror's Haki, because even during the events of Arlong Park and Alabasta, those were like it took a while for Luffy to step up into his own as a leader, as the head of the Straw Hat crew, and it was only after that did his like conqueror spirit really start to come out, you know. So I think we never see Luffy at full potential, but we do see Ace at full potential. Actually, Ace no matter what, it's possible that Ace's path may have simply always led to Ace's self-destruction. He might have just been that kind of character, like just too headstrong, just too fiery, and no matter what, he would have just ended up, you know, with his own, being the cause of his own death. Gerp05, thank you very much. Do you think Usopp is like the Mike Oxlong of One Piece? I don't really know what that is. Oh no. Oh no. I can't believe I fell for that one. F's in chat again. Alright, let's see. Mod me, I have CDs about all these jokes. No. Lamonkey, thank you. Opinion on Smoker's role in the rest of the story. Smoker joins the Straw crew. I don't know if you've heard that one. but I can direct you to some very nice videos by a very well-informed YouTuber who could maybe convince you in that. I like to think that Smoker will show up in Wano still, and again, I like to think that if the raid fails, then there'll be ample time to do that. Blazing Blue, the moderators will end in failure. The moderators have already ended in failure. Mike Oxlong, that made it through? How is that not banned? What is going on? I made an oath to myself after, what was it, the Candace. I made an oath after Candace that I'm just going to be super on top of this. I'm not going to pay attention. Like, I'm not falling for another one of these. Then Mike shows up. Like, who's Mike? Mike's a normal name. Mike Oxlong must be from a different series. Perfectly innocent name. Patrick Hawkins, what are your thoughts on Zoro getting his own sword in Wano? Let's sound this one out. What are your thoughts, so that one's fine, on Zoro getting his own sword? It's fine too, in Wano. No innuendo in this question. Congratulations, Patrick Hawkins. I can answer this freely. Oh no, CD's nuts. I didn't even catch, no. Oh, fuck. I didn't even catch that one. What is wrong with you guys? How are you guys so smart? How do you guys know all these? Zoro getting his own sword in Wano. I've always liked the idea of Zoro getting his own sword made for him because there are sword, maker, whatever, swordsmiths in Wano. And there's Nidai Katetsu. I would love if, like, Zoro... Aslan, you warned me. You warned me about one. There were two. There was Mike Oxlong and there were the CDs thing. You didn't warn me about both of them. And he spent money. You're right. We're not banning any super chatters. We haven't banned anyone so far. We should have banned all of them. But then, I don't know, chat would be kind of dull, wouldn't it? But yeah, thanks for the warning, bro. Thanks for letting me know that there were two super chats that were traps. Thanks for letting me know, like, 5 minutes late. But I would like Zoro to get two swords. But he's most likely, I think he's just going to pick up Nidai Katetsu. I think the idea that Zoro gets a new sword made for him, I don't know if that's going to happen necessarily. Rhyme Rider 10, thanks a lot. If Blackbeard is the anti-Luffy, do you think there are other characters that are the anti-version of a Straw Hat? Example, Moria equals anti-Brook. Anti-version of a Straw Hat. I mean, it depends, because it's like, you could argue that, like, Judge is the anti-Sanji. You could argue that, you could argue that's, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It depends how much Oda wants to play up certain dynamics. You know what I mean? Like, because I could take Zoro and be like, there's an argument that this guy is the anti-Zoro or something, but, like, is there someone that's going to be, like, played up? Like, is Shiryu going to be played up as the anti-Zoro? I don't know. Acrylic... YT, I did miss your prior comment. I'm sorry about that. Few drinks okay. Googled it. So I could have just been drinking. Aslan says you just can't read. Alright, you got me there, Aslan. We can't help you. The delay is too strong. Yeah. That's why. You guys just want to watch me burn. That's what this has turned into. So I can drink. But the thing is, I have to call the stream at roughly 5 anyway, maybe a little bit earlier. Probably not drinking at this point. Keegs, no, Aslan, I was joking. You don't have to delete their messages. I was joking. Just let them have it. It was a joke. Just let them have it. You don't have to delete it, Aslan. Oh, no. You're missing out on blue super chat. Poor guys, give them their answers. Let's see. Acrylic White. I saw Acrylic White Tea. I answered him. I miss Keegs. I feel bad. It's fine. You guys can super chat whatever. Probably not slurs, I guess, but as long as we avoid that, it's all good. Aslad's in rage now. Ninja Dragon says, have you watched Midnight Gospel, and if so, thoughts? Midnight Gospel. What's that one supposed to mean? Midnight Gospel. Actually, that's probably just I'm not falling for anything there, right? Midnight Gospel. That's not a trap, right? That's just a probably movie or show or something. If Midnight Gospel is something, I'm like completely lost if Midnight Gospel turns out to be something. That means that anything can be a trap, because I see nothing wrong with Midnight Gospel. I'm going to see some Fs down there. Midnight Gospel means something. No? Okay, I guess we're good. God Complex. Thank you very much. There was a CP0 scene where he described the battlefield like chess pieces. I think it was like Go pieces, right? I feel the enemy still has pieces yet to be played like the Big Mom Pirates. Maybe CP0 themselves are piece. Thoughts? So, I had a raid fail video come out again like last month. Probably maybe February, actually. I don't know. But had another video on that topic where I said that one of the reasons that I think things can still turn down negative for the Alliance is simply because there are pieces that are yet to be played, and the Big Mom Pirates are a big one. If the Big Mom Pirates show up towards the tail end of this battle, then that could be a big swing. So, it remains to be seen. No, Skinner, thanks a lot. I'm watching from work, so I got distracted. I'm not sure if you answered my earlier question. My bad. No, Skinner, why don't you tell me your question again, and everyone look out for that question, and, yeah, don't Buster call the comments. I was joking. I should have just been more clear about the fact that, like, this is all, it's all okay. This is all okay. It's a 100K celebration stream. It's not anything super serious. It's not like it's my birthday, in which case I would want no one making fun of me. But it's a 100K celebration stream, so anything goes. Just to confirm, Midnight Gospel, there's nothing wrong with that one, right? You guys don't have to take this that seriously. We're not banning anybody. We're not doing any stuff like that. Noah Skinner, I did not see your comment. Guys, point out Noah Skinner's stuff. Aslan, have I read Dune? I have read Dune. Dune was I think it was a really, really engrossing book when I read it. I was a little disappointed, not because Dune was bad, but I think because the hype around it was really high. And I thought that at the end of it, the scope of, I know that it's a full series that follows after it, and I've not read the following books in the series, but I felt like the scope of Dune was kind of lending itself to like something, you know, it felt like it was something really, really grand, like the universe that it was kind of building up, and it really applied to the full universe and kind of the empire. Like it just felt like a really large-scale idea that ended up feeling like a very small-scale conflict that was actually just like something that happened on a small planet. Like, people talk about the rich world of Dune. I didn't think it was that rich. I think it was, if anything, like it felt more like they got in depth into the culture and like the you could have kind of scaled Dune back into basically being like a very, like at its bare bones, it's actually a very small, fleshed out fantasy world. Like if it didn't take place in space and call things planets and stuff like that, it really is more like, you know, like a standard small little fantasy world setting with like, oh, there's desert people and there's witches and there's a bad empire. And like, I just felt like it didn't play to its full potential. Like just by the size of the book, you can kind of tell that it's not a very, very long book. Like it could be a long book, but like, I guess just the world and the way that things wrapped up just felt very, very minute to me in terms of like the setup that they were kind of going for, or Frank Herbert was kind of going for. So I don't get a lot of the hype behind Dune. It was a very engrossing read, I'll say that, but it left me feeling like I wanted like a lot more by the end of it. So maybe that comes with the whole series, but that's my thoughts on it. Mumu, thanks a lot. In your future Straw Hat video, you compared the gang to the 12 disciples. If it's true, do you think one of them will betray Luffy? Should I Patreon you? You do not have to Patreon me. I mean, you could, but you don't have to. If it's true, do you think one of them will betray Luffy? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that something's fishy up with Jinbei at the moment. Because we still don't know what the hell's gone on with Jinbei. But maybe there'll be something like a Straw Hat hides something from Luffy at some point or something along those lines. Like, you can compare it to, a Kanjuro-esque betrayal. I don't think anything like that is ever going to happen with the Straw Hats. But maybe a Straw Hat goes down a wrong route or something. It's very hard for me to imagine that, though. Zest God, congrats on 100K Morj. Do you think Sanji will be as strong as Scopper Gaban? They're both third strongest of the group. Yeah, sure. I just don't know how strong Scopper Gaban was, but it does seem like he was implied to be fairly strong, maybe comparable to Rayleigh. Harish Raj Mohan, Morj, what is your favorite NBA team? I am definitely more of a LeBron fan over anything else, so at the moment, the Lakers are my favorite team, which is, super bandwagony and stupid to say, but, that's just the case. If I had to say outside of LeBron, the Nuggets are my favorite team right now. I've really, really enjoyed the Nuggets. It's a shame what happened with Jamal Murray. I don't know where that puts them, but the Nuggets are probably the team that I've been supporting the most by far this season. My roommate and I actually had a bet about like who's going to be closer to winning MVP, so who's going to win the most MVP votes between Jokic and Luka Doncic at the beginning of the season. And he put his money on Luka Doncic, and I put it on Jokic. It's looking pretty good for me right now. It's Sully Man. Thanks a lot. What do you think of Momo saving Wano from Onigashima by commanding Zunisha? If she wanders to Wano, he'd have the power to protect Wano as Shogun. What do I think of Momo saving Wano from Onigashima by commanding? Yeah, I don't know if, like... Okay, I can't imagine Zunisha, like, running in and stopping the island from falling. But it would be interesting if, you know, Zunisha's involved in some way. I do think that Zunisha is going to... Like, I just assumed that Zunisha stuff would be kind of later towards the end of the series, but it definitely could be now. Aslan's on board with LeBron. Acrylic YT missed... I'm sorry, Acrylic. How many times have I missed your questions? How many times have I missed them? Every time? I don't think I've missed them every time, but I've definitely missed a lot. Yeah, definitely send it below this. I'm sorry. At least half, Mateo Romeo says, at least half of regular chat are trying to get you, just letting you know. Be wary of regular chat. Thank you, Mateo Romeo. But super chatters have also betrayed me, so I can't trust anyone nowadays. Patrick Hawkins, are you reading any webtoon? If not, I highly recommend Solo Leveling. I've heard a lot of good things about Solo Leveling. I might give it a try. I'm not looking to read a bunch of stuff at the moment. I think JoJo Land's the only thing that I'm really, really looking forward to, like, binging once Manga Dex is back up. And I might give Solo Leveling a try because I've heard so many good things about it, you know? Acrylic U2, YT. I turn YT into YouTube in my head just because I'm so used to YT meaning YouTube. Oh, Spanish Shade said he asked is Ryuma related to... Nah. You guys think I'm stupid. Fool me once. Fool me. How many times did you guys fool me? 6, 7 times? Fool me 6 or 7 times. It's on... I don't know. What's the full phrase? Fool me once. You're not fooling me like 8 times. Alright? Spinach Shade, nice try. He asked, is Ryuma related to... And then... Ride on. As in... Right. Okay. We all know. Nice try. I won that one. Alright? That's right. Morj is picking up some new tricks. Morj is getting hip. Your guys' little shenanigans. Nice try. Aslan says 6 times. Yeah, probably 6 times. So nobody fools Morj 7 times in a row. Except my collective chat. What do you think of Mount Fuji on Wano? It's the only location in Wano that we haven't visited. So that's what okay, fun fact you brought that up because I had that video on, like, the most recent reasons I still think that the raid is going to fail, etc., etc. Favorite reasons, biggest things that the raid is going to fail, top reasons or whatever. One of the things I was going to put is the Mount Fuji thing, right? Like, we still haven't seen Mount Fuji, and that seems like a significant location, but I feel like the Odin flashback started with Kinemon on Mount Fuji, right? Was it confirmed that that is the mountain that the mountain god came down from? Because Kinemon went straight from the mountain to the flower capital, so I don't know. But if that is the case, then that means that we have run into, you know, I mean, we have visited, technically, Mount Fuji. So if that's the case, then, like, I guess we've checked off that box, so I didn't actually include that in my video. Mateo Romeo also says, what do you think will happen if/when Zoro finds out about Sanji beating up Luffy at Whole Cake Island and never apologizing? That's just not, to me, that's just not a thing. Like, Oda could make it a plot point if he wants to, but it's not really a thing, because it's like, people have to understand it's very different from the Usopp situation. It's not the same as the Usopp situation. The Usopp situation, like, it's closer to the Nami and Robin situation. Zoro never demanded apologies for what Nami and Robin did. What Usopp did was different because that was Usopp personally wanting to leave the Straw Hats. Like, he personally just decided that this is no longer the place for me. With Sanji, with Nami, and Robin, it was all stuff where it was like external forces, they were putting on an act. When Nami said she didn't want to be with the crew anymore, that was an act. She actually did want to be with the crew. When Robin said she didn't want to be with the crew anymore, that was an act. She wanted that more than anything, but she felt like she couldn't. When Sanji said go home, he was putting on an act. That was all stuff where they were being forced by external forces. With Usopp, and you can go back through like my Annie's lobby analysis video, like it's very clear that this was a plot line, like a personal, internally motivated plot line for him this entire time, where like he was legitimately starting to feel like this may simply no longer be the place for me, because I just don't know if I belong here anymore. And the decision to leave behind the Going Merry, what that triggered in Usopp was all of his personal insecurities coming out, and his personal sort of angst and feelings of inferiority. And that's what actually, like, that was all personally motivated, internally motivated. That was him actually coming out and saying, I'm leaving the crew and I'm going to fight you over it, with no external, like no one is forcing him to do this. That's the difference. So the Sanji situation is not the same. That is not what Zoro meant when he's saying that no one can just leave the crew casually. Like, if someone put if like Zeph's head is on a platter and like Sanji has to put on an act where he's angry at Luffy, Zoro's not going to hold that against him. Like, I just don't believe that that's a thing. Oda could make that a plot point, but then turn it into like a misunderstanding where it gets cleared up later. But that's separate from it just being an unresolved issue on its own. You guys follow that? Zest God. Also, more just how you talking about dogs, about Doge in Benz's stream. What are your thoughts on penny trading as well? Congrats again. I'm not smart about cryptocurrency. I was one of the bandwagoners who hopped onto the Doge train because Doge was, popping off, and somebody told me to hop on the Doge train. So, from what it's looking, it's still doing well to me, from what I'm seeing. So, I'm holding my stuff in Doge. I put in an amount of money that I'm not concerned if it works out or doesn't work out. If it works out, great. Doesn't work out, doesn't work out. But I'm not going to give you any informed thoughts on what you should or shouldn't be doing with your money. In terms of cryptocurrency, I don't know that much about cryptocurrency. All right. God Complex, thanks a lot. I've heard you've been reading Black Clover. Any particular thoughts on it? I've been really enjoying it. It's such a fun read. Yami is the GOAT BTW. Yeah, Yami is also my favorite character by far. Yami is my favorite of the mentor characters of any series, actually, which is funny because people shit on Black Clover a lot, but like, I like Yami better than any other mentor figure, like, character, because he's just like a fun twist on it. He's a very, very fun twist on it. He's written more like a main character who is just happens to be in a mentor role that he almost doesn't fit, but also perfectly fits. Yami's just really, really fun for that role. By far my favorite character in that series. Black Clover, I think, is like the most disrespected series for no reason, because it's never trying to be like a really smart, sophisticated series. It is a very base level shonen. To me, it's what Fairy Tail could have been, essentially. Fairy Tail was always like really like basic, straightforward shonen stuff, but like it just went too hard into that. I think Black Clover plays the line well in terms of like it actually delivers a lot of the stuff I really enjoy about One Piece, and it never does anything like crazy, drastically, off the rails or like really breaking from the status quo in terms of what you would expect from a shonen. But everything it does reasonably, like it does it well. It checks off boxes. It like understands story structure and like how much time you should be focusing on characters and things like that. And it understands build up and how to do climax. Like it just follows through on everything in a very simple, straightforward way that makes you satisfied. So it's never going to be a particularly deep series. It's never gonna, but it offers a lot of what One Piece does well in like a more simplified form. That it's never going to make it like a masterpiece like One Piece is, But if you want a really nice, straightforward shonen, I think that's what Black Clover is, if you just kind of need to scratch that itch. Because I'd say even My Hero, even that, which I consider pretty straightforward shonen, that still goes to certain places and addresses certain concepts that a series like Black Clover never would do. But if you want something kind of straightforward and just like fun, easy breezy read that still feels like a decently checks off all the boxes of like a fairly fair story, like a fairly good story, that's Black Clover. I think it's like by far the most, I think people on Twitter just think they're smart for like shitting on Black Clover, and it's like, that's not what this series is, so you're kind of just, like, why are you even comparing it to certain other things? Because I was very pleasantly surprised with that series. I got into it very late. I thought I wouldn't like it at all, from everything people were saying. No, Skinner, what if ASL set out together versus separately? So I actually addressed that earlier. Again, I think I said that, like, what do you call? Ace would probably, Luffy is the one who would suffer the most there because Luffy would not hit his full potential. Sabo, I don't think a lot changes with his growth or development. I mean, like, obviously, like, his storyline is drastically different, but I'm saying that, like, in terms of who he develops, like, his personality as we see it right now is still fairly similar to what it was as a child. I think Luffy is the one who's grown the most. Luffy is the one who's grown the most. Ace, the Ace that we saw as a child versus the one that we saw on Whitebeard's ship, the grown-up Ace was a lot more tempered, a lot more cooled down. We thought Ace was actually a fairly relaxed, chill character when we first met him in Alabasta. It was only when we got the flashback and through bits and pieces moving forward did we realize how angst-ridden and, like, angry he really was. So I think Ace would be missing that because he doesn't go through the Whitebeard experience. But ultimately that never really went away because that was sort of, it was just a bit of a fatal flaw for him that that fire inside of him that he just couldn't stop, like, that was the end of him. So I don't think that ever changes with Ace. I think Luffy's the only one who really suffers and is different because he never grows into what he could be if he was out on his own, leading his own crew. Acrylic YT says, I've commented my question, running out of donuts. Dude, I don't know where are your comments? Okay, no, I found it. I found you. It seems like you've lost your love for the anime. I'm not sure what more you expect. They're adapting and adding to each short chapter into a 20-minute episode. What else are you looking for? Okay, filler arcs would be amazing. Do filler arcs. They don't do filler... Like, you're asking... Like, there's different things that you could be asking here, right? You could be saying... Okay, so let's approach the... Like, let's just cover this once and for all, right? So, there's a few things in terms of, like, how the anime could be fixed, right? So you're saying that, well, they've only got so much material. I'm saying, well, they could do filler arcs, right? They could do filler arcs. One, they've got cover stories, so they've got canon filler material that they could do. Or you can just make up a lot of filler arcs, and that's fine. Like, filler arcs are never a problem if you actually want to enjoy the series, because yes, you are going to get a bunch of episodes that, like, are not canon, but you could treat that essentially as the off-season. And then once the canon episodes come back, then you can actually enjoy the canon episodes that are well-paced, well-animated, right? So filler arcs are very valuable. Naruto got a lot of filler arcs that Naruto fans complained about for some reason when it's so much better than just having canon shitty episodes because they're poorly paced. You would much rather have a bunch of fake episodes that are not canon, that don't count, and get through them, than actually, like, have to exclusively enjoy poorly paced episodes and have to go to one pace just to get a decently paced episode. Now, if your response to that might be like, well, filler arcs are bad because they hurt, maybe the viewership, right? Maybe they hurt the viewership because they're filler. So the anime has to adapt one chapter per episode. They just have to do that. They can't do filler arcs, otherwise they lose some money. And so what we've got is what we've got. It's like, okay then. So what we've got is what we've got. But, like, that doesn't mean it's good. Like, is your argument, like, I just don't get it. Is the argument that it's like, well, this is the best they can do? One, I definitely don't think it's the best that they can do. I believe that, like, if they're treating it as like, well, we're doing this purely for the cash cow purposes. So, like, we're going to put this much effort into the anime, maybe this much effort in the upcoming movies and, like, specials and stuff that we care maybe more about. And like, we're not going to bother to do filler arcs, even though it would make the series better and more enjoyable for people because we can just milk it more and get more money out of just doing really bad, poorly paced episodes of the existing material. Then sure, if like, from the business perspective, what they're doing right now is probably the best that they could do, like, to make money, right? And that's fine. From the business perspective, yes, this is the best that the anime could get. Why do we have to pretend that that makes it a good anime? Like, just saying, well, this is the best we're going to get because, like, this is just the best that, like, they would logically do. That doesn't mean it's a good anime. Like, it's a bad anime. It's just a bad show. You can compare it to any other show, and it's, like, clearly worse, based on the material that it's working off of. So, like, I just don't, like, I don't get the justification that, like, well, logically, if we look at it like, this is what they have to do. One, no, they don't have to do it, but I understand from a business perspective, if their mentality is, like, we have to just try and milk this for the most money possible, then yes, this is the most optimal way to milk One Piece. Then yeah, they have to do it like this to get the most money. That's fair. But then you guys should acknowledge that what they're doing right now is the most optimal way to milk One Piece. They're not actually trying to put out the best experience or product, and this anime kind of sucks because of that, right? It's just a bad anime, even if this is the way that they have to do it from the business perspective. Anyway, Avery McGurk, what is the thing that got you the most excited about Elbaf? Mine is definitely Autumnal Colors and Oda Viking Arc. I did not think about Autumn Colors. Viking Arc art, that'll be cool. I'm excited about the tree. That giant tree is definitely leading somewhere. Or at the very least, it'll make like a nice backdrop for the entire arc, like visually. That's pretty much it. Avery McGurk says, missed super chat question. I don't think I missed it. I just answered that one. One Blue Piece says seasonal. One Piece would mean better quality. Better quality means more in demand, which means more money when it airs. No, so you can't really like make that call for like a business. Just be like, oh, just do it like this and you'll make more money. Most likely what they're doing right now logically makes them the most money. It's not like a magic one-to-one where like, well, if we reduce the quantity by this much, then the demand will skyrocket this much, so we'll just make the same amount of money. That's probably not true or they would be doing it. So I'm sure that factually what they're doing right now is the most to milk One Piece the most. But you guys have to understand that what they're doing right now is definitely to milk the series the most. If they really wanted to deliver a quality product, they would do filler arcs. Because you get the same number of episodes. The reality is you probably get less viewership for the filler episodes. So they don't do that because then they don't make as much money. I'm trying to find a new question. Matthew Schuster says G8 arc is one of my favorite arcs, filler or not. Exactly. Like, you can do really good One Piece filler arcs because the One Piece world is very rich and the characters are, they've all got their quirks and personalities. It's fun to just watch them interact. You can do really, really good One Piece filler arcs, but it's just probably not worth it when you could just take something that exists and, like, spend, 2 minutes on a moment that really just requires 10 seconds. Oh, this leads to live action questions. Dante's here says, how do you think the live action will do on Netflix? I really don't know. I'll be honest. So we talked to that writer in that reverie. And it was really encouraging for me because he clearly loved the series a lot and knew a lot about the series. So because of that, I have high hopes that, like, there might be a good script and passion behind the project, but I have a hard time imagining how they're going to do justice to certain things because the One Piece world is just, like, really fantastic and there's, like, a lot of crazy shit that happens and it's just hard to imagine how they're going to pull it off right. So, to me, the live action, it just needs to do, like, fine. Like, just get some new eyes on the series. Because if it gets some new eyes on the series, it could really blow up One Piece's global popularity. It doesn't need to be amazing. It just doesn't need to be terrible. GURP05 says, you missed my super chat, Morj. I swear I answered your super chat, GURP. Let me check, GURP. Oh, no. My bad, GURP. Oh, no, I missed two. I'm sorry. So first, let me get to Buy Slow. So Buy Slow says, I would like it if Ace was the chosen one or reincarnation of Joy Boy, the Sea Kings talk about, and Luffy's... Yes, I would love that. That is a thought that, like, I had early on at one point. I do think that makes a lot of sense with some of the quotes that were going around throughout Marineford. I think that would be a great spin on the way things have played out. I would have to check timeline-wise if that makes sense, based on the time that Ace was born and what the Sea Kings were saying. But to me, that's my favorite way that Oda spins that concept. GURP05 says, post Wano Monster Trio bounties. Congrats on 100. Thank you, GURP. Post Wano Monster Trio bounties. There's a few weird ways you could slice it. I kind of want to save this for a video. But there's a few ways you could slice it. I do think that the bounties are going to be very, very high and higher than people expect. Like, some people are saying, like, Zoro's going to get a 1 billion berry bounty. It's like, no. Zoro's going to get a bounty that should be significantly higher than that. Because 1 billion at this point would be small bananas, like, for what we're expecting. Like, Queen has a 1.4 billion bounty. In general, like, imagine it like this. Wano is the culmination of a huge storyline. Oda's goal with bounties at the end of big storylines like Alabasta and East Lobby, his goal with the bounties is always to make the reader feel very satisfied and hyped and excited for what the characters have accomplished. So the bounties are always going to be higher than what you would expect, right? So, like, when Luffy gets his first bounty, yeah, the other stuff was like, Arlong has like 20, Don Creek is like 17, Kira is 16, right? If you're looking at it from that perspective, it's like, okay, Luffy should probably get like 22, 23, 25 million berry max or something. Oda goes with 30. He like he tops everyone's by like a significant margin, because that's just more exciting. Same with Alabasta. Like Luffy's bounty was 30 million berry at the start. It ended at 100 million berry. Right? Same with Enies Lobby. He tripled it. Stuff like that. Same with Whole Cake Island. Like tripled it from 500 million berry. So like if we look at it like this, from the start of the New World to the end of Wano, it's all one really long storyline. Right? So then let's say Dressrosa is the halfway point. So Dressrosa, you get a baby increase. You get 500 million. Then Whole Cake Island, we're getting close towards that big ending point. So it gets to 1.5 billion. That's a big jump. So that means that from what happens between Whole Cake Island to Wano, it's going to be a huge jump. So I think, like, no question in my mind. Like, it does depend on exactly how Luffy's fight with Kaido plays out over the rest of it. But it should be, like, much, much bigger than what people are expecting. Maybe I'll do a video talking about my exact expectations in a bit. But it should be much bigger than what I'm expecting, than what most people expect. Like, people generally really lowball bounties because they're trying to think about it, like, logically or rationally, or like, well, no, it's so early and Luffy just hit the New World. It's way too early for him to get, like the highest or second highest or third highest bounty in the series. It's like, that's not what the purpose, like, that's not the purpose of bounties in the series. Like, the real purpose is to give readers, like, a really big, exciting feeling of, like, oh my god, the Straws did so much, and now their names are, like, exponentially bigger than they were before. It's like a stamp of like, just instant gratification. Jake Jones, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I think I covered the last couple questions. Rickin, thanks a lot. Have you read Jojo Leon? It's getting really good. I will binge it as soon as Mangadex comes back. So I'm probably going to binge it as soon as Mangadex comes back up with it, which should be in a couple weeks. I think Mangadex has been down for a couple weeks now. Chad, Bayesian Voice has agreed Luffy 5 bill after a while. So it's really hard, because even I have a hard time justifying Luffy at 5 bill if he beats Kaido through like some concerted team effort. Like, it doesn't make sense. It kind of depends on how... Do you think that Luffy will have a bounty after the final war? Or after the final war, they won't have bounties anymore? Because whatever it is, I believe Luffy's final bounty will be 5.6 billion berry. We all know the Gomu Gomu, number play that Oda likes doing, right? Like, that's just standard Oda. So based on that, Luffy's final bounty should be 5.6. So the question is, if this is his final bounty, like, this is the bounty, let's say, that makes him, his final real bounty as a pirate, and then after that is the destruction of, let's say, the world government, celestial dragons and stuff, so Luffy wouldn't be, like, having a bounty after that, then guess what? Luffy's going to have a 5.6 billion berry bounty after that. If that's not the case, and there is more to go after this, then I would say minimum is 3 billion, but probably higher. Probably significantly higher. And the Jogger Wall, thanks a lot. What would I, a longtime fan, have to do to get modded? Super chat again? Whatever happened to Rags to Riches, the American dream, self-determinism? It's probably calling me out like that, and that's all it takes. There we go. Lemonke, what are your favorite live-action movies? My favorites are Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and A Day in the Life of Hugh Janus. Oh, no. Oh, no. Damn you, Lemonke. What the... I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I told you guys, fool me once, fool me 7 times, you won't fool me again. And there we go. The monkey pulled it off. Yeah, thanks for the warnings now, guys. It's really helpful now. Thanks, Sugundar. Oh, no. Your name's a trap. Your name's a trap. Because these are all traps. Not those kind of traps. You know the traps I'm talking about. Even the word trap is a trap. That's hilarious. Let's see. I wonder how many have just gone over my head. I wonder if there have been some that I just didn't pick up on whatsoever. Sorry, my dog's making noises. I gotta take him out in a bit. Stream's probably ending in like 5 minutes-ish, 10 minutes-ish. Chad, Bayesian Boy, thanks a lot. I think it would be his second to last bounty. We're in endgame. If Luffy wins, Yonko system destroyed, 3 opponent goes in possession. His threat level warranted at that point. Yeah, so, like, if Luffy's second to last bounty is 5.6 billion berry, I don't think that really makes sense, right? So it would have to be somewhere lower than that. You know what this question makes me mad by Lamonke? So Lamonke asked, like, what are your favorite live-action movies? And then he led to the crap question. But I was excited. I was like, oh, boy, I actually want to talk about my favorite movies. And he's, like, listing some movies. I'm like, all right. It was a joke all along. I was so innocent. I was just so led into it. I was like, oh, that's nice. He's actually interested in finding out what my favorite movies are. No. He's just trying to make me look dumb for the 8th time this stream. Angel Rise, making sure that name's not some sort of a bait. Recently saw your Why Kid Won't Beat Big Mom video. Oda said that he has plans for him, unlike Law, who still shined hard. Besides being overshadowed, what do you think Oda will do with him? I like to think that Kid will be, if the Yonko system continues post this, then I like to think that Kid will be a Yonko alongside Luffy at the end of this. I just think that Kid will never get an accomplishment that's equal or comparable to Luffy's. I think it will always be like close, but no cigar. So besides being overshadowed, I don't think that Kid will necessarily die by the end of the series. I think it will be maybe the biggest pirate at the end of the series, aside from Luffy and the Straw Hats. But I think that he will be that essentially ultimate silver medalist, if that makes sense. I don't want to call him like Vegeta or Kaiba essentially, but it's along those lines. I think that you can do a more interesting storyline in this, and that like the climb to the top in One Piece is just like a such more nuanced and varied and in-depth story that you can pull out for a character than something generic like Vegeta just always being not as strong as Goku. Because like with this, like the climb to Pirate King, that competition, there's so much that goes into it that you can really delve into with Kid's character. I would like to explore that and what it means for him and his end of things, and what it might mean like that he's not going to be able to achieve it, and that like this other guy Luffy is the one who's going to be able to achieve it. Acrylic YT, thanks again. Thank you. However, if you like the manga, the anime enhances it for the most part, especially the quality of animation. Filler would undermine the Wano arc, in my opinion. Where we are now, filler isn't an option. So the reality, okay. So I'm regretting a little bit of me going off on the anime. I think that that's just a subject that gets me a little heated out of certain subjects. I don't want you to feel like, well, I've already probably accomplished this, unfortunately, because I didn't stop myself, but like, I don't want you to feel like bad for enjoying the anime. But I say that, but then I probably did make you feel a little bad for enjoying the anime. So anime watchers, like, if you enjoy it, I guess it's like, it's frustrating to me to see, like, when an anime episode comes up that is good, then see people plastering it everywhere that, like, see, the anime is really good, I'm just like, that's not, you can't put up one episode and say the anime is good. That's just not how it works. As for the quality of animation of filler and such, like, the reality is that the filler that should have been done for Wano should have been done before the Wano arc started. Like, that's how filler arcs should work. It should be between the arcs, but what the One Piece anime does, at least from what I've seen, still do 1 to 2 episodes of filler in between arcs. The filler should be, like the Wano arc it's just way too far into the arc for where it should be. Like, the filler is work that they should have done way, way, way before this, and they're in direct contact with Oda, so they should have an idea of how much filler they should be doing. On top of that, there's points in between, like, there's literal act breaks in this. This is the first arc where we have act breaks. So, like, you had a break after Act 1. That's where filler could go. You can do a lot with that. You have a break between Act 2 and Act 3. You have, like, a break. There's a lot of that can go into that. Even just, like, if you have to do filler in Wano, we skipped an entire week of Wano in Act 2. Like, we skipped an entire week. You can make that a huge filler arc if you really needed to. Just have them go, like, I'm not going to, like, write the filler arc for them, but the point is that the quality of filler doesn't need to, like, the thing is, anyone could kind of write filler, though, is the thing, because the quality of filler never needs to be good. It's basically fan fiction that you can kind of just make up, that never has to impact the stories or actually develop the characters in any meaningful way. Like, anyone can write filler. It's hard to write good filler, like G8. It's obviously hard to write good filler, but One Piece filler isn't good filler, so it's not like there's a tremendous amount of, like, writing effort that needs to go into something like that. So, point being, like, if you enjoy the anime, I get it, like, you enjoy the anime. It was my favorite anime at one point as well. It's just, and, like, there are certain episodes that are good episodes. I'm not denying that obviously some episodes are good episodes. I'm just saying that, like, good episodes singularly don't make it a good anime overall. So, like, it's just hard. Like, I don't want to, like, be one of those people that, like, just, like, shits on something that everybody else enjoys to, like, make people stop enjoying that or sour that. But, like, that was just the opinion that came out for me, because that's just, like, my honest feelings on a lot of it. Like, I don't think that the One Piece anime